So go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same-game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, player props, and point totals. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the code ROME, R-O-M-E, and place a $5 pregame moneyline bet to get $200 in free bets if your team does win. That's code ROME, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 or older in most eligible states, but age does vary by jurisdiction. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 boost per eligible game. Opt-in required. Parlay and wagering restrictions do apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms.
Whether you're at the worksite or the trailhead, you need an ATV with power and performance, technology to make every job easier, and a time-tested promise of quality and dependability. You need the 2022 Honda 4Trax lineup, available now at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville. Then you'll learn how life is better on a Honda ATV. For riders 16 years old and older, Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course and read the owner's manual thoroughly.
All right, Pirate Nation, Russell's is ready for the holidays. Our huge in-stock inventory makes shopping easy. New additions include Barber for men and women, plus Owner Reserve for the men. Enjoy your holidays and don't worry about lost packages and back orders. We've been making Christmas wishes come true for 39 years in the same location. Not only is our signature gift wrap beautiful, it's free. It's always about you, our pirate friends and customers at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
Go Pirates!
This is Holt Nailers. I've been eating at Parker's Barbecue since I was a kid. Now, all these years later, I still love to eat at Parker's. In fact, I love it so much, I bring my entire offensive line with me. They protect me, and I look out for them with great food from Parker's Barbecue. So whether you bring the team like me or just your friends and family, the awesome barbecue, chicken, and seafood at Parker's is a win every time. Parker's Barbecue, where they always treat you like family.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Before you hit the road this travel season, be sure to get your tires inspected by the tire guys at Greenville Auto World. The Greenville Auto World service team sells all the top brands and economy tires if you need a new set. Need an oil change, state inspection, or AC repair? Greenville Auto World can work on any type of vehicle, and the monthly oil change special is only $29.99. Make an appointment now by calling 364-8730. For award-winning service, trust Greenville Auto World.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
Temperatures are in the low 30s at 10 a.m., increasing sharply to 75 degrees by 1 p.m., and then dropping into the teens by 10 p.m. So before you go to work, put on some gloves, pack some shorts, and a parka. That should cover you for the day.
Your heating and cooling take a beating. Guarantee your system is ready when you need it. Call Delcor. Buy a new train system and make no payments until 2023. It's hard to stop a train. With inflation and high gas prices, you don't need another payment. So buy this month and make no payments until 2023. Delcor, the service professionals.
Buying a home? Then you've got a lot on your mind. Now rising rates? It's a lot. This is Timothy Sawyer, your local Rocket Mortgage professional right here in Greenville, North Carolina. With Rocket, you have an advantage. You can lock your rate for 90 days while you search for a home. If rates rise, yours is safe. But if they fall within the first 3 years of buying, you can refinance to a lower rate with exclusive savings. Take the Rocket advantage of calling me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
There's local politics, bud.
I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand.
Was that supposed to be funny?
Get these clowns out of here.
Why would they do that?
You were having a freaking game.
Dude. It's a cocky bunch, man.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, welcome in to this Tuesday edition, Victory Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios. Coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can find us on 1250, 930, also online, pr927fm.com, and watch the show on Facebook Live and YouTube. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube. We have crossed the 2,000 subscriber threshold, and we're moving on up, so give us a sub over there, give us a like as well, and on Facebook, make sure you're following us for all the latest, because it has been a busy day. We had a Mike Houston press conference that we covered earlier today. You can see that interview in its entirety, that press conference, along with Holt Nailers, Miles Berry, and Xavier Smith. We'll have those videos for you on Facebook and YouTube. Also, Mike Schwartz talking to the media today ahead of ECU's basketball game on Wednesday night. So busy day today, busy day tomorrow, as we'll hear from the coordinators, Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell, and have an ECU basketball game coming up at 7 o'clock. So make sure you're following all our social medias, as we will give you that here on the program as well. Shirley Rhodes is here. Intern Peter on the video production. Chan Man overseeing things in Studio B. And I'll let you know who's in studio with me in just a moment. Coming up later on in today's show at 3:30, we'll talk to Seymour, ESPN Plus color analyst for ECU basketball. Pirates are 2-0. Can they get to 3-0? We'll talk about Hampton. We'll talk about what we've seen so far with Cy. At 4 o'clock, Mully will join us in the Pirate Radio studios. He was shocked, as everyone was last night, when my Commanders knocked off the Eagles. We'll talk a little NFL, college football, and more with Mully coming up at 4 o'clock. At 4:30, Sam Razz. We'll talk Houston Cougars football. Every time ECU plays Houston, we go out to our friends at the Scott and Holman podcast, and Sam will join us today to give us an update on Dana Holgerson and the, I guess, disappointing 6-4 Houston Cougars. We'll talk about that coming up at 4:30. At 5 o'clock, Bryce Williams will be here, and Bryce, not me, but Bryce will be interviewing Shane Carden. We have worked that out with Shane. He wants to do an interview with Bryce Williams, so I can't wait to hear Bryce handling that interview coming up at 5 o'clock. To my left, Willie Smith, former East Carolina offensive lineman, NFLer, joins me, as well as Ellery. Guys, how we doing today?
Doing great.
Great day to be in the Pirate Radio studio, Clip Brock. Will you be running the video feed during the Shane Carden, Bryce Williams interview?
I think I'm going to be here just in case something goes haywire. But
you don't trust Bryce to drive the ship?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Just be honest.
You said it. Yeah.
Don't beat around the bush.
Yeah. No, you said it correctly. Hey, look, biggest story right now going on today. No NFL teams are undefeated, because a team that Willie Smith once played for knocked off the Eagles last night, as Washington took down Philadelphia on Monday Night Football. And Ellerby, we're going to spend the first hour and a half of the show on that.
Why just an hour and a half? Just bump Bryce and Shane, and just we'll go commercial free, and just let you break it down and talk about the 5-5 Commanders.
Well, Willie has a real job, so he has to get up early and do adult things. So he said He was sleeping while it was happening.
Yes.
So I was explaining what happened to him, and it was complete bully ball. It was run the ball 3-4 yards a carry, set up 3rd and 2, get the first down, move the chains. The time of possession was insane. It was basically 40-20. The Commanders dominated and got a shocking win last night. I know if you didn't watch it and woke up and saw the score, you were probably surprised that Washington was able to win that game, go to 5-5. The Eagles now 8-1 on the year.
Well, the big shock that it was on the road, too.
In Philly. And the Boo Birds are out. The 8-0 fans wanted to see 9-0. and saw their team getting kind of embarrassed at home and gave them a nice boo.
Well, the pressure's
a nice
off.
Philly boo.
The pressure's off the Eagles now. They can focus on just winning enough games to get that number 1 seed, I guess.
Right. I guess, you got to see the other side of the coin. And like you said, man, to get a loss now is better than losing later in the season, getting ready to go into the playoffs. And you don't want to do that. So,
what was the longest win streak you can remember you've ever had?
Man, that's a great question. Maybe 4, maybe 5.
Do you ever feel pressure when you were in a win streak, or you just feel like the flow? You don't feel like you're going to lose?
Yeah. I mean, you don't feel like you're going to lose. When you lose, you're actually shocked that you lost. So,
how about this play, Willie? Huge turning point in the game. A fumble by Dallas Goedert, and Jamin Davis picks it up, goes for a touchdown, but it is called back because he was down. But they missed a blatant face mask on it, and that was. It kind of reminded me of East Carolina on Friday and some of the calls we didn't get. It feels good to be on the opposite side of that because you're just like, well, they didn't call it. Not a penalty. It's all good.
Right.
But a brutal missed call in that game, and, hey, it happens, I guess. It happened to East Carolina on Friday.
Yeah. You can't see them all. And like you said, when you're on the side of the winning side of it, well, I'm glad I didn't see that. But, when you're on the other side, you're like, dang, man, why they ain't call those plays? And, there were a lot of plays that the refs missed on this past Friday, man. It was horrible to see.
Question for you. So last night when that happened, I was like, that is great, but also, Eagles are about to get every call the rest of this game, and I hope it doesn't cost us. And there was a pretty quick makeup call, but after that, it didn't seem to be one way or the other. But do you remember that from playing where, let's say, maybe you held and they missed it, or either you held it or they called you for hold and you didn't, but then they'll throw a makeup call one way or the other? Did you feel like it went that way when you were playing football?
Yeah, no, I think that's very true, man. I think it does happen, especially when it's a blatant hole and you're right there in front of the ref and he missed it. He's waiting for you to do it.
He's got his hand on the flag next play, just waiting.
Yeah.
I guess it's human nature to try to even things out or whatever.
How often are you holding on every play as an offensive lineman?
Man, I never hold. What are you talking about?
Never.
Just sometimes they're more blatant and obvious than others.
Right.
I mean, like when you maybe were holding, let's just say, for instance, maybe if and the defensive guy gets up and he gets in the ref's face and he's yanking on his jersey, this and that. The next play, are you going with a different tactic, or what are you doing that next?
If you know you was holding, like you said, his shoulder pad is turned backwards, like
and no laundry got on the field. The next play, what's going through Willie Smith's mind?
Man, you're trying to be as perfect as possible with your fundamentals, trying to shoot your hands inside and make sure you don't mess up because you know they're watching you. Everybody's watching you at that point.
And there's different holes there. I guess, Willie, you can speak to this better than anybody, but there's bad technique, right, or bad footwork. But also, sometimes you play against an elite player and you get beat. And that happened, I think, several times Friday night. We have more penalties than we usually have, and that's because we played a high-caliber team, right? And they have good players. And it just seemed like on a lot of plays, not all, but one of our guys would get beat. Yeah. And have to grab them from behind, and that's a flag, and that happens in football.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. I mean, sometimes you're just out of position because, you're laid off the ball or something like that, but then other times the dude you're playing is just that good that's like you got to hold her, somebody's going to get hurt. So, I mean, sometimes you're just outclassed, man, and you saw that with some of the plays, man, where the guys just was struggling, in protection.
What's the number one no-no for an offensive lineman?
Well, the number one no-no is to get beat, right? Don't get beat. Whatever it takes, you don't want your quarterback to get hit. So if you got to tackle somebody, that's what you're going to do.
And what's the best way that usually you get beat?
Well, the number one way you get beat as an offensive lineman is, number one, you're probably laid off the ball. You're not in your stance, and the guy, he's coming at you full speed, and that's when you see an offensive lineman just turn their hips and start to run. And now you're off balance, and that guy's going to hit you and knock you to the quarterback, or you're going to hold, and it's just going to be ugly. But that's what happens.
While we're doing the O-lineman 101 here, I kind of like it with Willie Smith. We don't get an opportunity to ask these questions a lot. But what's the number one reason for a false start? It seems like it could be a couple of things, Willie. Not knowing the cadence, I guess, is one thing, or going early. But also, I guess, movement from the other side. So, if you ever false start in your career, which I don't have it in front of me, maybe you never did.
Right.
What was the reason you might have done that if you played?
I definitely had some false starts. And, primarily when you have a false start, it could be, it depends on the situation in the game, first off. So if you're super tired, like, you probably didn't even hear what the heck the cadence was. You just like, I'll just get back to the line, try not to die. Like, that's what you're thinking about at that moment, right? So you jump off sides in that case, and then in other times, you may be going up there thinking, all right, man, I'm blocking this guy. This is my guy right here. And then they shift, and you're not really paying attention to what they're doing over there. That makes you jump off sides.
Yeah.
So it could be a lot of stuff like that, man.
Let me run a scenario here. 4th and 1, 4th and 2 maybe.
Yeah.
You're about midfield. The coach calls in the play saying, we're going to try to draw them offsides.
That's the worst.
And then an offensive lineman jumps. How does that happen? How does that happen, Willie Smith? When the play don't everybody in the huddle know?
Say, look, man, do not move. Nobody move. Everybody's saying that, but for some reason, you always got that one guy, man. I don't know.
That one guy.
That's got to be a sinking feeling, right? When you're going to the sideline and it goes back to 4th and 7, and you are punting at that point.
Right. No, that's the worst, man.
Is that hard though when the quarterback's, because he's doing a lot of?
Yeah, I mean, because you'll be surprised. You're in your stance. It's not. They're not going to call a play. They get you, man.
Like, dang, that's pretty good.
Right.
Who was the best quarterback cadence you ever played with?
Phillip Rivers, man. He was the best at it, man.
He just changed. What made him the best?
It was just, man, like, he would call a play, he'll change it up, and then, especially when he was playing against somebody that was really explosive, man, he was good at saying, all right, man, I'm going to say it like this and, be ready to go. And he was just good at changing it up, man, and that helps when you're, blocking somebody that's crazy good on the other side of the line.
Willie Smith joining us. We've talked about this. Phillip Rivers like to junk talk everybody on the opposing team. Did he ever get after you? Damn, Willie, what you doing, man? Come on, Willie. Come on, Willie.
Man.
He didn't talk to his teammates much.
He didn't really get on the teammates because, at the end of the day, that guy got to go back out there and block again for you. So,
right. Better stay on his good side.
Right. You don't want to piss him off.
You didn't get many tongue lashings in the huddle. It was more when you came to the sidelines. When you would do a false start or offsides.
Yeah, they might say, well, come on, man, let's go, man. Like, but your coach, he's the one that's ripping you a new one. Like, that's the one, hey, he's getting paid to make sure your guys are blocking. And then when you mess up, he's the one that's responsible for, getting everybody in the right place.
There's a great video going that goes around time and time again about Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday's in the news now. You ever seen that one, Ellerby, where they're on the sidelines? And I guess Jeff Saturday wanted to run the ball, and Peyton Manning kept checking the passes, and Peyton's yelling at, "Hey Jeff, if we call a run, just block, Jeff." And or if we call a pass, and Jeff say, "Run the ball," he said, "We'll call the plays, you just block, Jeff." And then big Tariq Glenn, remember him, Willie? He gets in the middle, and then he tells Peyton to go sit down. And Peyton turns into like a little kid. He's like, "Well, Jeff's yelling at me. Jeff, you just get..." And it's hilarious that, all y'all are brothers and will do anything for each other. But there's always those little arguments during games.
So me, man, I was the guy that, like I said, I'm always fighting to be on the team. So I'm making sure I just try to do everything right because I don't want to be the guy that's getting called out, right? But I do remember a time where Nick Hardwick and Phillip Rivers was kind of going at it, on the sideline. And it was like, look, man, y'all need to call these plays because a lot of times the quarterback, they get to call the audible that they want to call. And, as an offensive lineman, if you know that's going to put you in a bad position, you don't want to do that. Yeah. And, I've seen bigger like that at times, but nothing to the level of what you.
Most offensive linemen are just kind of workhorses. You don't really remember a lot of them for brash personalities or just. I mean, most of the ones that lasted in the league they did their job really well. They were just all business. It wasn't about them. I mean, would you say the offensive lineman is the ultimate team player?
I would say so, man, because we don't get any glory. The only time we get a chance of glory is when they throw in an extra tight end and you get to go score a touchdown when they throw a pass at you. But other than that, though, you're just going to go out there and do your job, man.
Did you ever have your number called for something like that?
There was an opportunity where I was going to have a chance to get a pass thrown at me, but the play never got called in that game. But I was ready, man.
You were ready to go.
I was ready.
Y'all worked on it at practice and everything?
Yeah, practice it and everything.
Did you catch it every time?
Yeah.
Was that here or in pro?
No, that was pro.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was with the Raiders.
So you could have gotten a touchdown in the National Football
Big boy
League.
touchdown.
They never tried it in a preseason game either, huh?
Nah, man. That would have been awesome, though.
Willie Smith joining us. We'll circle back to ECU, but I mentioned Jeff Saturday. How strange was that, Willie? And as a former player, like, what would you think if they called in an interim coach that wasn't in the building with you? And I guess Colts players know Jeff Saturday. He's like a consultant, and he was a great player for him and everything. But to have a guy whose voice you hadn't heard all year long come in and then be the leader, that's got to be strange, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're absolutely right. So you're going through the season, and then everybody know who Jeff Saturday is. So he got a little bit of credit, cred, so to speak. But to come in and say, hey, look, you're going to be the coach, and you haven't been here, you don't know what we've been going through. I think that's a tough call, man. I think it's real.
They ended up winning. They beat the Raiders, so I think it might say more about Josh McDaniels and the Raiders than it does the Colts. But for him to come in and win off the street, one thing you did was put Matt Ryan back in a quarterback, which it didn't take a genius to figure out he's better than Sam Ehlinger.
But they weren't going to. I sent you that article. They weren't going to play Matt Ryan because they don't want to pay him his money, which is weird because then Jim Irsay, is that how you say the Irsay? He hires Jeff Saturday, who wants to win. Well, He has to put Matt Ryan in, so it's kind of like it's kind of a weird dynamic there that probably the ownership or the GM is like, let's not play Matt Ryan because we don't want to trigger these bonuses or contract guarantees with Matt Ryan, so we don't.
They
hamstrung the owner.
They hamstrung Frank Reich,
basically,
and didn't let him play Matt Ryan. But fired him, and now the new guy gets to play Matt Ryan.
It makes no sense.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. It'd be like me taking 3 microphones out of here and being like, Clip, you can't have any guests on. You just got to go 3 hours all day. I fire Clip. I hire Willie Smith. Put all the microphones. Give him an unlimited budget. He has his former players in here, and it's like the show's thriving again. It's like it makes zero sense at all.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, Willie Smith joining us, talking a little NFL, talking big picture football. All right, Willie, how about Senior Day coming up on Saturday? Do you have any memories from Senior Day here at East Carolina?
I'm trying to think who we're playing. Senior Day. Was it UTEP?
Are you having a senior moment thinking about Senior Day?
I'm thinking back, man, on
2010.
who we were playing. Yeah,
back in 1884. Where were we?
But no, I would just tell you from just overall.
Looks like SMU.
Okay, cool. So,
some team with a bunch of letters in their name.
Right. They have some guys out there playing. But yeah, man, just kind of going back to Senior Day, you got a lot of emotions because that's your last time playing in the stadium, playing in front of the fans. And, it could be your last time. If it's the last game, it could be your last time playing ball ever, right? And, man, that's a lot of emotions going that game, man. You want to play your best. You see a lot of guys anxious that first quarter just because of all those things I just mentioned. And, the younger guys are expected to play big on that day, man, because, a lot of the seniors, man, it's just, it's a lot of emotions on that day.
Do you remember your last ever football game where you professional or obviously got paid to play football?
Yeah.
But did you know it was your last game at the time?
No, I didn't know it was my last game.
So you didn't have all the build up or anything to it. You didn't know. It wasn't like the week 17 in the NFL and you know maybe I'm not coming back next year or whatever. Right. What was your last NFL game?
Last NFL game. Well, I guess it's preseason when I was with the Panthers. That would have been the last game. Been on the roster would have been with the Chargers, and we were playing against the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chandler, can you get in here for a moment? I got some trivia for the 2010 ECU football team.
Oh, wow.
Or I was just saying get on the mic, but you can get right here. Hey, Chandler.
What's up? How you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, you said get in here.
How are you good? Are you good at 2010 ECU football, that era?
Yeah.
That's kind of your prime spot, right?
12 years old.
Around there? All right. What 2 members of the 2010 ECU football team were first team All-Conference USA? 2010. Ruff's first year. All-Conference. First team.
Dwayne Harris.
Yes.
And I'm going to go, is he defense or offense?
Offense.
Dominique Davis.
No. Try again.
Willie Smith.
Correct. I wanted you to name like 5 guys. Yeah, Willie Smith.
I just realized. I was like, you know what? It's probably the guy that's sitting in this room that played on that team.
He's right here. How about second team? Wide receiver, DB, and kicker.
All right, kicker is Barbour.
Michael Barbour. We should have asked Willie if he could name the kicker back then.
The DB. DB.
I mean,
Dakota.
Nah. Best corner we've had in a while, maybe until recent years.
Emmanuel Davis.
Emmanuel Davis. Wide receiver, playmaker, transfer. Came in here for a brief time.
Lance Lewis.
Lance Lewis is correct. Yeah. Well done, Chandler.
Thank you.
Good job.
You're excused.
All right.
You only slightly insulted Will.
That was the main setup.
No, you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm just glad I got on the second try because it would have been embarrassing if I was just naming off Pirates one after another.
Honestly, it just goes to show you when you think. You think about skill guys, and you go to see quarterback, running back.
You know what? That's all I thought about.
You don't think O lineman.
Yeah,
that's true.
We'll try to get Dwayne Harris here next week.
All right, so senior day, emotional day coming up for these guys, and man, especially when you throw in the COVID year and everything. Willie, these guys have been around here a long time. Holton Ahlers, Xavier Smith, Miles Berry, and then you got guys that are here for one and done, like Winstead and others. So emotional day. Pirates still trying to, and we saw that I had a stat yesterday, Ellerby. Since 1958, East Carolina has had 11 seasons of 9 wins or more. So this could be number 12. I mean, it kind of puts in perspective the opportunity this team has to kind of stand out above other Pirate teams.
Well, and they're still fighting to finish with a winning record as well. So I mean, overall, yeah. I mean, they could finish 6-6 and lose the bowl game. So I mean, it's possible they could lose their last 3 games.
I'm a big glass half full positive guy. You're a negative guy.
Yeah. I'm a coffee bean. No, I felt good about the Cincinnati game. I feel very confident about the Houston and the Temple games. I feel like this team, if they play like they have the last few weeks, I think they can come out victorious. This Houston team, I mean, they just gave up 77 points a couple weeks ago to your SMU team that you played.
That's eye-popping, but also they just gave up 34 to Temple.
Yes.
Who can't get out of their own way on offense.
I'm very concerned that this could get a basketball score game, which this game could last very long, which would push back your 5th quarter at your 2:00 kickoff that you're loving right now, maybe like a 6:00 start for the 5th quarter on Saturday. But there's obviously all signs seem to point that it could be a big offensive day for the Pirates.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome, man. If we can, light it up like that, man, and especially if the defense shows up, man, and get the ball back in their hand, man, and they can light it up. But I guess it also depends on how DK make the calls, too.
Yeah, and Holton Ahlers already a record-setting quarterback. I mean, if that Houston defense, or lack thereof, shows up on Saturday, he's really only going to add to his legacy and numbers on Saturday afternoon on Senior Day.
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome, man, to see him light the board up like that, man.
And it'd be fun to watch him have a nice pitch and catch with Isaiah Winstead, C.J. Johnson, and just have an all-around big day and go out in Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium as a winner.
Yeah. Go out and enjoy it, folks. You check the weather, Willie? How we looking for Saturday?
Well, I won't be here, unfortunately. I'll be in Baltimore, man.
All right. So, Willie.
We're playing in Greenville this weekend. the game's not in Baltimore.
We're not playing Towson.
We were just talking about Senior Day. What's going on in Baltimore?
Convocation, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Willie just celebrated a birthday not too long ago, so
this week,
belated birthday, Willie.
Yeah. Was it this week?
It was this past weekend.
All right, congratulations.
Mike Houston celebrating a birthday today, and somebody just tipped me off to this. Brett McMurphy, I don't know why he has these stats, but he says, happy birthday to East Carolina's Mike Houston. He's 51 today. Houston is the 6th oldest AAC coach and the 62nd oldest overall coach in the FBS. So there you go. For anybody wondering.
Fred McMurphy has a lot of time.
That's all I was just thinking. How do you figure that out, man?
He's right there, kind of in the middle, I guess. Mike Houston, average age.
Are him and Phil still somewhere up and like that? We should get them on Jeopardy together.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow!
Very random stat there on the UBE stat sheet.
Is anybody ever going to fact check that though?
Yeah, right. I'm not.
You got to worry about that one.
He can just throw out whatever he wants, I guess.
Right.
All right, so Mike Houston celebrating a birthday. Mike Houston, very emotional Ellerby earlier today, talking about Holton Ahlers.
I heard
these seniors. So it's going to be some eyeball sweat, as Ruffin McNeil would say, coming up Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this senior bunch has really helped propel this football team last year and this year to being bowl eligible. Hopefully this year they'll actually get to play that bowl game, which all signs seem to be more positive for that happening this year. But certainly you can't really say enough about Holton Ahlers and this, when it's all said and done, of how he started and how he finished. It's a pretty special story and a cool story that will be discussed, debated, and talked about for many, many years.
Yeah.
And it's all about perspective. I mean, these guys will be, they've got 6 wins for the second straight year, but this will be the first time going and playing in a bowl game, and they've been around for so long. I mean, think about Willie's run. You went to bowl games every year, right?
Yeah.
Championship games.
Yeah.
And so, like, you might take it for granted by the second or third one, and these guys are dying just to go to a bowl game. So kind of all about perspective, but shows the building they've done here since they've been here.
And it would be nice 3 or 4 years from now from being bored with just going to bowl games. I mean, it's kind of like with East Carolina baseball. Everybody just assumes when are we hosting the regional?
Yeah.
Not going to a regional now. It's like, well, what they had that first weekend in June marked off of being like, all right, we'll be hosting. I wonder who's going to come to Greenville. It's just kind of taken for granted, which is a great place for your program to be.
Right. No, that's huge, man. And that's when football's winning, man. Everybody's winning in town because there's more people coming, more money coming into the economy, man. So that's awesome for everybody.
Couple of updates. C.J. Johnson, he returned with the team, and it seemed like it was a precautionary deal. He's okay. He's good to go. And Mike Houston said that Keaton Mitchell has been cleared. So looks like potentially leaning towards seeing Keaton Mitchell this weekend.
Hey, look, and if all weapons are available to Holton Ahlers and Donnie Kirkpatrick and Mike Houston in the crew, I mean, could be a fun Saturday at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, and let's hope so.
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome, man, to have everybody out there firing all cylinders, man. Keaton, Johnson, all of them, man, making big plays. That'd be awesome.
And Willie, obviously, safety in football has been brought to the forefront in recent years, and concussions and things like that. In your playing days, how many known concussions you think you had while you were playing?
Known, probably about 50. Nah,
really?
Just playing. Nah, man. I've never had one where I had to just sit out a game because I had one. But bell been rung a few times during game play, of course.
When you played, what did they do when your bell got rung? Were you playing when they would put you under the tent and do all that, or
that was
just kind of give you smelling
Do
salts?
offensive linemen get concussions as much as like receivers, running backs?
I would think not.
No, they do though. Like King Dunlap, when I was with the Chargers, man, that dude got like freaking 5 concussions, man. Like,
what was happening? Like
people, when you get bull rush, he would stop and use his head to stop him, and of course that was a bad recipe for concussions.
Are you taught to keep your head up? Is that
keep your head back? That's how you keep your head out of it, man, because of that reason right there alone.
Do you ever remember like just a bad concussion to someone else in a game where the play stopped and it was like, whoa, that guy's not going to be good?
Yeah, I can't remember the player name, but man, you see a guy laying there like he's dead, like, just body is not moving, and they got to come out there on the stretcher, put him on the stretcher and get him off the field. That's the scary thing to see, man.
Is it hard to get back into game mode after a play, whether it's your teammate or the other team? How hard is that when the play stops and all the medical people are out there, and then God forbid they have to come out and bring an ambulance or a stretcher out too?
Right. Now it definitely messes with your psyche a little bit, but at the same time, hey, we in the middle of a game, like, play the next play, so you just get back on it. Man.
It takes one rep to get back in, then you kind of forget about it as the game gets back into more action.
Right.
Willie Smith joining us. Willie, what's your prediction? East Carolina, Houston. Pirates last check were a 6-point favorite in the game against the Cougars.
What's the total on our game, Clip?
It's the highest of the year. I think I saw 66.5, but let me look again while Willie's thinking of a score.
Yeah, so if the defense is playing the way it's playing with Houston, and if we're gonna have all our weapons, let's say we're gonna put up 45 on them, man. And Houston, I'm gonna say, I don't know, 38, 39, somewhere in there.
So a high-scoring game, totals at 67, the over-under. So they're expecting a lot of points coming up on Saturday.
I can see that.
And so is Willie Smith.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if the Pirates are firing on all cylinders, that the Pirates get over 50 on Saturday. I could see that happening. Now, I think the key is East Carolina's got to convert offensive possessions early into touchdowns and not field goals to kind of really set the tone and set the pace.
Right.
Where
we don't want to be in a field goal situation, man.
Well, you just don't want to get where it's like you get 3-3 and then it's 7-6.
Right.
It's like, man, like it should be 14-7 right now. You know?
But like Willie said, sometimes our threes are zeros. Right. So that's another. You really don't want to be put yourself in that spot.
No.
All right, Willie, tell everybody what you got going on, man.
Yeah, so selling real estate here, man. Anybody looking to buy, sell, or invest, give me a call, 258-8168.
All right, Willie Smith joining us. Willie, have a good weekend. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sound good, man.
You know what we're going to talk about next week, Willie?
What's that?
Turkeys.
Turkey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Clip's got his famous question.
Yeah.
You caught? Did I catch you sleeping?
A little bit.
Man, were you planning a full work week next week?
No. I'll take a couple of days off. I might lose my job. I got to be here every day, it sounds like.
You're so busy thinking about Eagles and Commanders that you can't even focus on anything else right now.
I'm just playing the next play.
Next play.
Talking the next minute.
Is the next play Cy Seymour?
The next play is Cy Seymour. We'll be talking ECU basketball when we return.
Tough interview.
When we get back, Cy Seymour joins us on the Pit Electric Live Line. Let's take a break, come back, have more for you on PRL and
Tailgate Tuesday.
Next segment, we'll be giving away a 12-pack of PBR for Tailgate Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. We'll tell you all about that when we return after this.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night, along with football. Monday is open mic night, the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck. Eastern Pines Dental, located on East 10th Street beside Lowe's in Greenville, provides complete dental care to all ages, including implants, root canals, crowns, wisdom teeth removal, IV sedation, Invisalign, and much more. And as Eastern Pines continues to grow, we've added caring and kind doctors ready to assist you, including Dr. Ward, Dr. Lovick, Dr. Moore, and Dr. Mosley. Call 751-0770 to schedule your appointment today. The staff of Eastern Pines Dental thanks you for trusting them with your dental care.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Are you ready for some football, Pirate Nation? Bud Light is America's favorite light beer and the official beer of the ECU Pirates. When planning your fun times this football season, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun. Because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Get ready to have fun this season, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
This is Dr. Andrew Bridgeforth from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For experienced professional care, call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
What a perfect time to be in Greenville, North Carolina. ECU football is going back to a bowl game. ECU basketball is getting cranked up. And Greenville's newest sports bar is officially open. Coco Sports Bar, located in the Big Lots Shopping Center right off of Greenville Boulevard, has the largest variety of delicious food, including burgers, quesadillas, Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, chicken and waffles, and of course, the best wings in town. Check out Coco Sports Bar on Facebook for the latest information on menu items, drink and lunch specials, and more. Open 7 days a week. Go Pirates!
ASAP Party and Tent Rentals is your one-stop shop for weddings, anniversaries, corporate events, family reunions, birthday parties, or any celebration with friends and family. ASAP Party and Tent Rentals has the widest selection of tents, tables, chairs, linens, china, concession equipment, bounce rides, games, staging, wedding equipment, dance floors, and so much more. At ASAP Party and Tent Rentals, we help people get together. Call today at 756-7903. ASAP Party and Tent Rentals, locally owned and operated on Diamond Drive in Greenville near Agri Supply and Equipment Plus.
This is CJ Mayhew, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they are in need of sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
A few stats to consider before we get to Seymour.
Stats to consider.
East Carolina trails the all-time series against Houston 8-7, so Pirates looking to even it up. Pirates looking to snap a 3-game losing streak to the Cougars. Boy, last time East Carolina beat Houston, you got to go back to 2012. Let me look that game up real quick to see if Shane Carden was at the helm. We'll be talking to Captain Carden coming up in hour number 3 of today's show. Pirates won that game 48-28. Shane Carden, I would say he played because he had 305 yards and 4 touchdowns in that game. Let's take a look at the box score. I like looking at old names. Justin Hardy 0 for 1 in that game, throwing the football. Ventavious Cooper, 140 yards and a touchdown. Derek Harris, brother of Dwayne, 3 catches, 65 yards. Danny Webster had 3 touchdowns in that game. Reese Wiggins caught a touchdown in that contest as well. The last time East Carolina beat Houston, got to go all the way back to 2012. Pirates also trying to even the series with Dana Holgerson. East Carolina is 2-3 against Dana Holgerson. The Pirates beat Dana Holgerson when he was a receivers coach at Texas Tech in 2000. That was a bowl game where the Pirates knocked off Texas Tech. The Pirates have lost to Dana Holgerson when he was a quarterbacks coach at Houston in 2008. Also when he was the head coach at West Virginia in 2017, and then last year in a frustrating overtime game at Houston. So we remember that one. So Pirates looking to go 8-8 overall against the Cougars, 3-3 overall against Dana Holgerson. We will get back to football in a moment, but right now we'll talk some hoops as we head out to the Pit Electric Live line. Seymour, color analyst on ESPN Plus, joins us here today on Pirate Radio Live. How you doing, man?
Doing great, Clip. Always love it when basketball's here and the Commanders win. Everything's good.
Well, we don't usually do this. We got a lot of hoops to talk, but we got to take the opportunity when we can, Si. Let's start with the Commanders. How about that win last night over Philadelphia?
Oh, man, at Philly, never happened. Great win for them. Glad they got it, and they're 5-5. I wouldn't have thought it this year. I'll take it. It's amazing. And we don't get many opportunities. You're right.
We're going to flaunt it as much as we can today. So call all your Eagles buddies, your Cowboys buddies, let them know that the Commanders are back, at least for 1 week. So that was fun to watch last night. I tell you what's been fun, Si, is East Carolina basketball. And Mike Schwartz, it was kind of funny yesterday. We saw Damon West speak at the Murphy Center, and Brian Bailey was there. Mike Schwartz was at a table right beside us, and Bailey kind of he used the joke on the table first. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna go tell Schwartz that he saw the score Wednesday night, and they're already down 12-0." And we all kind of chuckled. And Bailey saw us laughing and said, "All right, well, I'm gonna go say it. I'm gonna go use it on him." And he went and used it on Schwartz, and I think Schwartz kind of cracked a smile. But I know he doesn't like how these games are starting, Si, but it does make for some fun comebacks. Just a crazy start to the year this year for ECU.
No doubt about it. And I think, when you really look at this ball club, nobody has any playing time that's really major enough to say, oh, there's guys that'll get this game in control early. No, we don't. ECU doesn't have that. And what I said early in the year, he is going to have to make game-to-game, minute-to-minute decisions on who to put in the lineup. When you've got a flow and you got guys back, you can say, okay, starting 5. Somewhere around the 5-minute mark, he's going to put in so-and-so. And you know it's coming. He doesn't have that luxury. I mean, he's got 10, 12 guys that have never played a lot. He gets down, he's got to make moves now that can fit. He's having to work extra hard because it's a whole new ball club. And give him credit, he's done a heck of a job this early in the year. And you got to like what's going on and like the outcomes of how they're doing.
Yeah, and boy, Saturday did not start the way you wanted. They were down on the scoreboard and got in foul trouble, and that includes the point guard Javon Small. So he goes with Caleb LeCount, and LeCount kept him in that game in the first half side. He was a spark and went to the line, made free throws, made some shots, finally hit a three. The team started really, really slow from the three-point line. And then you had R.J. Felton and other guys step up in the second half. But, man, the little guy, Caleb LeCount, provided the spark on Saturday.
Yeah, finished the night with 16. You got to understand a kid like that. He's from Los Angeles, inner city, not going to back down from anyone. No one's ever given him anything. So he's not scared of anybody on that floor. And you don't do as good as he did and not be a player. And Coach Schwartz has the confidence in him to go in there in any tough situation and help ECU out. And I'm telling you, the kid's that good. I mean, you got to understand, they're not going to back down from anyone. And if it hadn't been him, he would have gone to someone else. The great thing about Coach Schwartz, everybody feels like they are a part of this ball club and they can contribute. And so far, so good.
And Si, this is the first time we've had a chance to talk since the opener. So we've seen 2 games, and I said this after week 1, after game 1, and I can say the same after game 2 with R.J. Felton and his big night, his big second half. But I love that the returners are kind of leading the way because we had question marks. Who's getting minutes? Who are your leaders? Who are the guys you're counting on? Game 1, it was Javon Small and Brandon Johnson. Game 2, it was R.J. Felton, the high man. And I think that's great. Mike Schwartz has said to us that these guys have bought in, these returners, and after 2 games, it's certainly showing up in the box score and on the court.
No doubt about it. And just think, we all know very few minutes for Javon Small. We're talking 8 to 10 minutes a game tops, not with Javon, but with RJ. Not less than that for Javon Small for last year. And yet they are stepping it up and playing confident and doing a really good job. I mean, I look at RJ. If anybody had told me he'd go 4 for 10 from 3, I'd tell you crazy. But they are confident. They're playing with this man for Coach Schwartz, and they have bought in, and they are taking the shots and feeling confident and doing a good job. Give credit to the returning players for falling in and saying, we're going to get this done here. It's a big deal for East Carolina.
Si Seymour joining us, Pit Electric Live Line. Si, watch the starting lineups on Saturday, and looked down at the bench and was trying to figure out where the heck is Brandon Johnson. We found out he was sick, and I know they had some women's basketball players sick, and there's a lot of folks out there going through the funk right now. So how is Brandon, as far as you know? You think he'll be able to go on Wednesday?
I feel like he'll be ready to go. I think he's working out today, and let's hope he'll be able to go. I think it's just this, this stuff going around, whatever it may be, not COVID related. It's just one of those. Everybody's getting it a lot right now, and I think he's supposed to practice today, and let's hope he'll be ready to go Wednesday. You never know with this little bug going around. Everybody's getting sick, but let's hope he'll be ready to go.
Cy Seymour joining us. Cy, a couple other things I've noticed from the first couple of games. I really like Ezra and his ability to get from the top of the key to the rim. He can do it in the blink of an eye. And he's got a pretty free throw stroke. I know we've talked about him, the young fella, but he goes 21 minutes the other night. He scores 6 points, grabs a couple of rebounds, but he looks like there's a lot to work with there, a lot of potential, and I liked watching him the other day.
You know what I like to hot clip is how much he changed from when he went in the beginning of that game, and then in that second half when he got a flow of it, how well he played. He didn't back down. He took everything on and did what he had to do. I also like DeBarge from Tennessee. He's doing a nice job defending, and I was glad to see Ben Bayala hit a shot.
Yeah,
because it's too good not to. He knocked down a shot. Every step, it's a baby step right now. These guys are players, and I like that they take them, and I like that the coach wants them to. These kids are going to be a big help to ECU basketball. And you said it right about Ezra Azor. He is going to be a player. I mean, and then now we didn't have Brandon the other night. You got another guy coming in that's going to get it done. So there are a lot of pieces of the puzzle that are so young, and we just got to give it time to grow. And that's what this team has to do. The other part, too, that's important to me is that in the second half, defensively, we basically, from the three-point line, we've held teams to little or nothing. Last week against Presbyterian, they were 18% in the second half, 2 of 11. The same way the same way in the first game.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. They are defending against Mercer. They are defending it well. And when you looked up at the end of the night, the 2 nights, when you totaled them, ECU's had 21 threes made, and the opponents have had 8. Well, when you do that to teams, 21 made and 8 versus 8. So when you get 21 made versus 8, look at the numbers for you. That's just the way. That's just the way it is. It gives you more points. You're looking 12 to 14 points a game, and that's where the difference has been. ECU runs you off the three-point line and doesn't let you get a good shot off. That's so important in today's game. You cannot give up the 3.
Cy Seymour joining us. Want to point out one more guy, Cy, before we kind of move on, but Valentino Pinedo the other night. Now 4 points, 2 rebounds. It's not going to raise too many eyebrows. He did that in 8 minutes, but did it kind of in an important time of the game where East Carolina needed some points, and he kind of reminded me, and it's not fair to compare players, and I'm going to call him a baby Miculus, but a little bit of Gabe Miculus, the way he just kind of battled inside, got his hands on balls, went to the free throw line. He went 4 of 6 from the line. But kind of a calming presence out there when East Carolina needed it. And his 8 minutes proved to be pretty big on Saturday.
Exactly. So Pineda did a great job. He handled his awareness of where he is on the court is really, really good. And again, what I like is Coach Forrest says get in, and he goes in, does his job, and has a good night. And this is in the first 2 games that he's been able to get in 12 kids a game and see what they can do, and in pretty good minutes. But it'll get better because these kids are going to get better every time they hit that floor. I think it's so important that how he's handling this bench and fitting them in at the right time.
Yes, and boy, nobody's going to sit around and look in the crowd or be kind of goofing off because they never know when their number is going to be called because all these guys are getting some action. I do want to commend also the bench for how involved they are in the game. We We called out the strength coach for the first game and even game 2. The way he was getting into the game, Keith Pugh, the bearded man on the bench, but a very active bench side as a former coach. I mean, that's important, right, to have those guys locked in and engaged.
Oh, you got to have them. And the other thing, everybody on that staff is hands-on. Everybody. They are building in this culture. They want to win. They want to be on the same page, and it starts at the top. It starts with Coach Schwartz. He wants them to have input. They don't feel threatened. But that's the other part of that clip. The players don't feel threatened. See, they're loose. They're firing it. They're shooting it. You know, that's what I like. They go in, and they may miss some, but they know they're allowed and they can take them. If it's a good shot, they don't mind taking it. That just builds confidence. And that starts with your head coach, and it goes all the way through the assistants, to the managers, to the trainers, to the weightlifting coach, everybody.
Cy Seymour joining us, Pit Electric Live Line, East Carolina and Hampton, Pirates on Pirates, coming up 7 o'clock, Minges Coliseum Wednesday night. James Madison blew out Hampton 106-58, and then Hampton able to beat a lesser opponent 89-60. I don't know if you know anything about the Regent Virginia team they played, Cy, but Pirates, East Carolina will be a favorite on Wednesday night at home, trying to get to 3-0 against this Hampton squad.
Yeah, Hampton's got really good guard play. They've got 2 veteran guards. Look, think about what Hampton's been through. They were in the MEAC, then they went to the Big South, and now they're playing in the Colonial. They've been through three conferences, probably over an 8 to 10 year period. And when you look at that, less than that really, but they were in the MEAC forever. But my point is, you're stepping up every step you make. You know, now he's going into the Colonial. He's got new kids. He's got a good kid out of St. Louis, was a really good player, started at Memphis, then went to St. Louis University, and he's there now. He's a good player, plus good guard play, and he's a good head coach. Now, can you get them ready to go? And don't let anybody kid you. JMU has a tremendous coach and a good ball club. So you got to bring it every night out. This man will have he'll be okay because he has veteran guards. They'll play tough. ECU has no veterans. None. So it'll be a better game than you think, but ECU is playing with confidence, and everybody on the team knows they're a part of it. So ECU's got to continue that way of playing.
And the road gets a little tougher ahead. They'll go to Florida for the Gulf Coast Showcase, play Indiana State on Monday. And I know Toledo could be awaiting the next game for East Carolina. I watched them Friday against UAB. Toledo, a very impressive team. They're one of the mid-majors to watch this year. So, and then at Old Dominion after that Gulf Coast Showcase is done, and we played the Monarchs twice last year in 2 pretty good games. So things gonna stiffen up a little bit. It looks like coming up soon.
No doubt about it. You're playing, and it's going to get tougher after that. The December schedule is really tough. Even the conference schedule opening up is really tough. Yeah, when you have to go to Old Dominion, then play South Carolina in Greenville, South Carolina, that is so tough. And then you've got to go to UNCW. That's 3 away games that I frown upon if I'm ECU. I want to play at home all I can play. That is really, really difficult. But it'll make the team stronger in the long run. But you're right. The tone is going to change, the intensity, and the competition is going to pick up tremendously.
Cy Seymour joining us, Pit Electric Live Line. Great night of college hoops coming up tonight, Cy, with some big games. I think Michigan State, Kentucky, Kansas, Duke. So we're right here in it, man, where you've got football to watch just about every night of the week, college basketball, whatever you want. It's out there for you.
Yeah, it'll be a good to see our old friend Joe Dooley at Kansas and helping out with that staff, and that'll be a good bowl game to watch. But it's just a wonderful time of year at Kentucky. It's just a treat to watch, and they got a great shooter over there. And I love the way they play. I like Calipari. These guys that are in the upper echelon, they're there for a reason. They're very good at what they do, and it'll be a fun night to watch basketball.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to being in Minges coming up Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Cy Seymour will be on the ESPN Plus broadcast as the Pirates take on the Hampton Pirates. Cy, let's try to get to 3-0. Thanks for the chat, man, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
You got it, Cliff. Enjoyed it.
All right, Pirates coming up Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, Minges Coliseum. As we go to timeout, let's make you a winner with some PBR. Pirate fans, get stocked up for tailgating season with PBR at your favorite retailer. Look for the QR code on the PBR display. Register for a chance to win a PBR cooler full of beer. Game day or any day, all Pirates prefer PBR. One more home tailgate for football. A lot of basketball tailgates coming up. There's no law against tailgating for basketball. So grab a 12-pack of PBR and go tailgate at Minges after Saturday. What caller, Shirley? Foe? 3. Foe? Foe. 1, 2, 3, Foe. Caller 4, 317-1250 if you want to win a 12-pack of PBR. We're back with more, wrapping up hour number 1 after this.
Don't stress this holiday season. Give the gift of beauty. A gift certificate from Beauty Bar Medi Spa will not only bring a smile to that special someone, it will smooth wrinkles, tighten skin, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair. Visit the professionals at Beauty Bar Medi Spa in Greenville. Available now. Gift certificate specials for her or him. And BOGO stocking stuffers. You save and they glow. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Go Pirates.
Jeff Stein, our special guest from Brown & Wood. Hey, Jeff, electric cars are coming. What's that mean for Brown & Wood customers?
For the customers, like it or not, EV is coming. We've installed 5 electric vehicle chargers here at the dealership. We have the all-new Cadillac Lyriq coming at 1st of 2024, and we've just seen the first reservation for the new Sierra EV.
People are interested in electric vehicles. How can they get up with you?
They can visit us at brownandwood.net or 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal. To make sure you leave a happy customer.
Portable, super quiet, and fuel efficient. Honda EU Series generators are ideal for camping, tailgating, home backup power, and more. All feature Honda's CO Minder carbon monoxide detection system for added peace of mind. Select models include Bluetooth connectivity for wireless control with Honda's My Generator smartphone app. Go with a Honda EU Series generator. It's power you can trust. See Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Cuccinella, inviting you and your family to come by Cuccinella's Pizzeria and Italian Ice. Cuccinella's has been serving our special family recipe New York-style pizza since 1932. We think you'll taste the difference in just one bite. When you come in for a pie, don't forget to try our house-made Italian ice or gelato. We make small batches every day from scratch with all fresh ingredients.
Cuccinella's on Old Tar Road in Winterville and a new location coming soon to Uptown Greenville.
All anniversaries are special, but because it's Bostic Sugg Furniture's 85th anniversary extravaganza, we packed a lot into our big extravaganza with not 1, not 2, but 3 ways to save. Extra 10% off, plus 1937 local delivery, plus 6 months special financing on all in-stock and custom orders. Change your mattress, change your life, and get 48 months special financing during the big 85th anniversary extravaganza. On now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
The Angus Grill is your premier spot for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us for our unmatched variety of burger combinations, from the mushroom bacon Swiss burger to the jalapeno popper burger to the original Angus classic. Pair that burger with our amazing onion rings, tots, fries, or sweet potato fries. Angus Grill, with 4 amazing locations in eastern North Carolina, including Winterville near Pitt Community College, on Jarvis Street in Uptown Greenville, and on Statensburg Road near the hospital. It's the best burger around, guaranteed.
You've had your new computer a few years now, but lately it's been running super slow, acting strange, and you're worried about viruses and losing data.
This is driving me mad!
Let the experts at University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern professionally diagnose your Mac or PC to see what's really going on. They'll determine the root cause and not just symptoms, so you don't waste money fixing the wrong issues. Call 252-558-1280 for in-store or remote service, or make an appointment online at universitypccare.com.
CD's Grill is open at 111 West Fire Tower Road near Evans Street in Winterville for the best country cooking around. CD's Grill is open for breakfast and lunch 6 days a week and dinner on Fridays. Every Friday night is steak night at CD's Grill. Certified black Angus steaks, hand cut for your desired thickness, CD's famous salad bar, and a delicious Idaho baked potato. Come see and taste for yourself the certified black Angus difference. CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road near Evans Street in Winterville. CD's Grill.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. Join the over 60,000 followers today. And congratulations to Brandon Manning, who was our big winner. Walks away with a case of PBR.
Brandon Manning left a lasting impact on ECU baseball.
Why, yes,
and
he did.
On this program. Congratulations, Brandon. You know, Shirley, I was thinking about this. Commanders, Eagles last night.
I almost texted you last night, but then I refrained because I was like, oh, I don't want to jinx it.
Well,
you know,
our Dolphins are playing well, but my Commanders are also playing well.
Here's the thing. See, you're a Commanders fan. One of my dear friends, Jimmy, is a diehard Eagles fan. Well, he's a Philly sports fan across the board. So he likes the Phillies, he likes the Eagles, etc. So
sounds like a real scumbag.
I'll tell Jimmy you said that. But anyway, so I texted him because when they jumped up 14-7, I texted him and I said, "Oh God, you're getting ready to do the Fly Eagles Fly thing, aren't you?"
Oh, thank you.
And
I didn't know you were doing in-game text to a Philly fan. That's good mojo for me.
And then, but then I was like, well, I need to text Clip too. But then something happened and I got sidetracked and I didn't do it. And now I'm thinking I probably jinxed the Eagles and did not jinx the Commanders equally.
So please no text during game, Shirley, unless you want to send it to a fan. I've got a buddy named Jake.
I hope Jimmy's not listening because he will call me and dog cuss me for doing that in the middle of a game.
I got a friend named Jake, only Texans fan I know. I'm going to give you his number. So on Sunday, if they go up, I want you to text them and say, "Oh, Texans looking good." So
I don't think you're going to have that problem with the Texans.
Washington played the Eagles last night, right? And the Eagles were living life in the fast lane with an 8-0 record and thought they'd be able to take it easy last night.
Wow, you're going that
Their
fans
that
route.
Probably had a peaceful, easy feeling going into that game. I can't tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a new kid in town named Taylor Heineke playing for the Washington Commanders, and he put the Eagles fans in the sad cafe. But in the long run, I think the Eagles will be all right in the city of brotherly love. What did the Commanders do last night? Well, they wasted time by really controlling the football for most of the entire game. They took it to the limit.
One more time.
Any others? Eagles fans will try and love again their team.
But the question is, will the Eagles have to go out on the road and stay in Hotel California?
I would say so, Shirley. I would say so. I think that's all I got.
Okay. Well done, though.
And Mike Mullis is a fan of the song Desperado, and he joins us here today on the show. Hello, Mully.
Hey, bud.
How's it going?
I'm taking it easy.
There you go. I feel like we've had this discussion before. I think I called that salmon, and you disagreed and said it was another color. What color are you wearing today?
That's salmon.
Salmon? All right. You eat fish?
Yeah.
What's your, what do you like?
I'm pretty easy. This is strange.
You a trout?
I like trout. I like flounder. I like sea bass.
Fish guy.
I like shrimp.
All right.
I like good old tilapia.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
All right. Good deal.
Some rock and some fish stew.
Just getting to know you a little bit, man.
Some oyster. Yeah, it's our first date.
These are the kinds of questions I ask. First date with my wife. I said, you like fish?
And she said, well, I'm here with you.
Is that supposed to be funny?
Well, am I mistaken, or do you not have family that was in the fish business?
Yes.
Okay, so
my father's the tilapia.
So that just shows that I know you better than you know me, and that was my
I
reference.
see where you're going now. Boy, you do know me well.
I mean, we were in the hospital at the same time with our kids.
That is true. Yeah. We're hospital kid bros. All right, we got to get a break in though, and end this fantastic talk, and we'll come back. We'll talk football. We'll talk a little bit of everything, as we do on Tuesdays with Mully. That is on the way, hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Some easy listening on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
This is Holt Nailers. I've been eating at Parker's Barbecue since I was a kid. Now, all these years later, I still love to eat at Parker's. In fact, I love it so much, I bring my entire offensive line with me. They protect me, and I look out for them with great food from Parker's Barbecue. So whether you bring the team like me, or just your friends and family, the awesome barbecue, chicken, and seafood at Parker's is a win every time. Parker's Barbecue, where they always treat you like family.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With homes in Blackwood, Mills Creek, Dalton's Cove and Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, they're constantly expanding. Now to Laurel Glen and Sarah's Way, plus the new duplex community at Abigail Trails. BMS Builders can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or ECU football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. Call 916-1578 for BMS Builders. Winslow's is now Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room. With a brand new look, Fifth Street Hardware also has a new menu and serving lunch and dinner every Tuesday through Sunday and brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. What else is new? Well, they have poker every Tuesday night, Trivia Wednesday with DJ Captain Morgan, and on Friday and Saturday nights they have live music open till 2 a.m. serving light appetizers all night long. New look, new name, same location on Fifth Street. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for more specials. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by First Bank. Together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Visit the First Bank location on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville for all your personal and business banking needs. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. From sales to service, Greenville Auto World has all of your vehicle needs covered. Shop all of their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're also looking for someone to service your vehicle, they have a full service and repair facility, and they do brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World, across from Speedway at Bells Fork, and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers for their sponsorship of the program. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, thank you, Shirley. Chandler Honeycutt here. Mike Mullis joining us. Always enjoy an afternoon with Mully. And hey, back-to-back days. Saw you yesterday.
Yeah.
Damon West.
Yeah.
When he was speaking, and great message. Kind of the second time, I guess, I've heard that, and it didn't get old.
Well, I told Ellaby earlier today, I've heard it numerous times too, or watched it online or whatever, and there were still things, little nuggets that I'd not heard before that I picked up on, and it was good, man. I really enjoyed it. And it was cool to have him here and for the guys that set it up.
We got Senior Day coming up on Saturday, Mully. Got Pirate basketball coming up Wednesday night in Minges Coliseum. You can try to catch a game this year.
Until like tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You going to try to go to a game?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I almost answered your open roll call there for on Twitter, your desperation plea for you and Chan that you rolled out there. Hey, does anybody? It was just short of a cry for help. Hey, we really would like to have somebody come sit with us.
I thought.
And I almost answered it because I was worried that I need to come do my thing.
I thought it was being generous, trying to spread the good word of Pirate basketball.
I think you'd have been better just to say I have 2 tickets in Section 213. Does anybody want them? Because I think you discredited them a little bit when you said, come with Chan and I think you would have had takers.
Maybe I'm overvaluing myself and Chandler's company. Like people.
I think that just would have been a great surprise.
Oh, I see. A little bonus.
Yeah, a little bonus.
Were you upset that I didn't go off social media and ask you personally?
Well, no, not really.
Okay. Because I really thought about all this on Saturday.
I don't think upset is a good word. I was like, well, if Clip would have called, I would have.
It was a last-minute thing. My dad was kind of on the fence. He had something to do.
No, good.
And couldn't go. And it was like, what time? 3:30, 3:25 or whatever.
And honestly, I saw it later on because I was working a camp at
exactly. You were with Meadows.
Don't start this. You did a great job right there. You elevated, but you brought it back down, which was that. I appreciate that.
I remembered. I'm taking the coaching.
Yeah.
Taking the coaching.
No, and that camp, man, was awesome.
Down East hitting camp, got a pitching and catching camp coming up.
Coach Meadows, Ryan does an incredible job with organizing that thing, and people take for granted that, it's just a camp, man. There is a lot of logistics to go into pulling that thing off, and nobody's more prepared than that cat.
We had Jake Washer on last week, and what I like about it is you have those legendary names. I'm from here, so I know all those high school coaches' names from years ago, great players and current coaches. But I do like the sprinkling in of Washer, Brickhouse, Bryson Worrell, guys that just graduated from East Carolina that are now taking part of it. It's pretty cool to see them kind of leave their stamp and help out the kids.
Yeah, and what was lost on a lot of people there, maybe specifically younger kids, you had RV, Coach Vincent was there, you had Coach Fulgham there, you had Howard McCullough, Coach McCullough was there. You're talking about dudes that have seen, and not that discredits anybody else, but that's kind of the Mount Rushmore of Eastern North Carolina baseball, at least in our generation. But, it was, and I think the award goes to, and I thought about Troy in this. This would be the Troy Dreyfus Most Photographed Award because it would have been presented to Bryson Worrell.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so it was kind of funny that some of the guys that were coaches, that were instructors, they were instructed by their wives to get pictures of them or them and their kids with Bryson Worrell. And I made the comment to one guy specifically, and I'll not mention his name, but I said, basically what she's going to do is crop you out.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, it was I offered to stand in Bryce instead, but he was able to get Bryson wrangled up and get a picture with him for his bride. So
good deal. So that was the hitting camp, pitching and catching camp. When is that coming up, Molly?
You know what? Typically, it runs pretty close to it's in January,
Okay.
and it seems like for the last several years, it has worked out that we would leave camp, run home, get a shower, and then go to the baseball banquet. So I think the baseball banquet this year is like the 28th maybe of January. That's what I don't hold me to that date, but
roughly around that time.
Yeah, yeah. So it'll be somewhere around there.
Burley speaking this year.
Yeah. So I'm sure that'll be a laugh fest. I mean, he's a charismatic dude.
And you mentioned McCullough, Howard McCullough. Clayton, I remember saying this when his name was mentioned with the Mets job, that now anytime there's a job opening, you're going to see him as a possibility. We saw that this offseason, but what's the latest on him? Is he staying?
I hadn't heard anything. I think as far as I know he did have an interview, and I want to say maybe it was the
Royals
KC job. I think is right. And then I guess the White Sox came open. I did not hear his name batted around, and that would have very well could have been. I mean, that it wasn't. But I haven't heard that he's making a move, and I've not had a chance to speak with him.
All right, Mike Mullis joining us here in the Pirate Radio studios. Mully, the NFL gets crazier by the week, and last night we saw the Commanders make the Eagles look human.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot else to be said. Yeah, the Commander Skins or whatever
they're called the Commanders.
They're not.
What do you mean they're not?
I
don't care what you want to call
What's
them.
your hat got on it?
Ron Rivera. Ron.
Yeah, okay. It's just
it's a throwback.
I'm still not accepting of that. It's just weird to me. And I think they're going to change when Schneider's out. They're going to change the name again.
Yeah, just keep changing it.
Well, it's great for swag sales, but I would think the Washington football team almost didn't mind.
Well, their sales now have to be down because their logo is a W, and it's very boring.
It's garbage.
They don't even have a logo.
No,
they just have a letter.
Right.
So it is very boring. What is a commander? It means nothing. It has no significance of anything.
Well, Commander-in-Chief, I think, is where they were kind of trying to go with that.
So we're the presidents? I don't think so. I don't think they have a direction.
People can't see me, but I'm rolling my eyes because I know people are thinking, here he goes. He's elevating the pitch. No, I agree that they don't have a direction, but I think what I'm saying is the Commanders was a play on the Commander-in-Chief. Where else do you come up with it from? I mean, I don't know.
In military, you have a commander,
but
right?
You do.
That's what I'm thinking of.
But that's your team. You didn't research the historical value of the name Commanders?
Yeah, and no results popped up.
Right?
Google was empty.
Maybe you should write a Wikipedia page about this.
It said, ask Yahoo.
Got nobody.
That's a Jeff Ross joke. He told it better than I did.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite comedian?
Clip Brock.
Wow. You have low standards.
Tony Castleberry.
He's a funny guy.
He is a funny guy.
Funny guy. Last night they played bully ball, controlled the time of possession, and had some freak stuff happen as well, some crazy fumbles, and that's what it takes to pull an upset in the NFL. Speaking of upsets, we call in the Packers over Cowboys. I guess
it's an upset.
It's an upset.
Yeah. And I mean, but again, nobody thought that they wouldn't win that game. I think even Cowboy fans were like, we got no chance here. And Dak was helpful for the Packers, but the game of the year to this point, as everybody's referring to it, was so ugly. It was the game of the year from an excitement standpoint, but there was some really boneheaded stuff that went on in the Bills game.
I mean, you see what happens when you try to go under center in 2022.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
You can't complete the snap.
Right, you just can't get it off. But yeah, I don't know, man. The NFL, I still kind of towing the line. And somebody said it the other day. I don't remember who it was. They were like, even the production value just seems to be down. And I don't remember who it was that said that. But I agree. It just seems like a really odd product this year. And
Tony Dunn was saying Friday that when he goes from a Fox game to a CBS game, he says CBS is way better than Fox. What do you mean by production? He was talking about the TV broadcast,
and I think that's what it wasn't my statement. Somebody else made it. To me, it's just all looks weird. And Fox has always been a little behind CBS.
I agree. Yeah,
I mean it's kind of like their thing almost. It's their renegade kind of that kind of deal. But I don't know. It just seems the product on the field for some reason seems to be diluted.
I'll always love it and watch it, but Al Michaels on Thursday night seems like he couldn't care less about the game.
Who does?
He sounds so bored and just...
Who wants to watch that garbage? Who's playing this Thursday?
It's actually funny you should ask. I think it's your team.
Really?
I believe so. I think it's a good game. Titans and Packers. Let me look it up.
That'll be by far the best game they've had them there all year.
Titans and Packers, an important game on Thursday night.
Okay, all right. Well... it's still flipping over to Amazon. And I've gotten so accustomed that if I'm watching, there'll be college games on. I prefer to watch the college game.
And look, it's the total of this game's 41. It's still Tannehill versus Old Rodgers. It's going to be an ugly game.
No.
Just because it's important doesn't mean it's going to be good.
That's right. But I prefer the hitting of the last button, on the remote to flip back and forth. So to go from last to pick up the Fire Stick to switch it, or the remote for the Fire Stick to switch over to, I don't know, the Amazon thing just.
I know what you mean by that.
It's sad to say, but it's a little inconvenient.
This Thursday, SMU at Tulane is your college option.
Okay.
So that'll be Thursday night.
Well,
tonight, before we move away from the NFL, I guess we can move away. Tonight we do have action. Bowling Green, Toledo, and Ohio versus Ball State on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Presented by The Buck.
The Buck.
Thanks, Chandler.
I enjoy those games.
The MAC games?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy them.
They're not very... I guess they are. They're on TV because they're made for TV, but it's always gray and there's no crowd,
right?
And it looks like it's -2 degrees.
Well, maybe I just enjoy all those things.
You enjoy all those.
I mean, it's like football by Alfred Hitchcock.
They also are weird and high scoring and crazy things happen.
And what I like about it too is I can tell my sons, listen, this college football has all kinds of ranges to it, so it's not necessarily the product that you get at an East Carolina game. Here's a level that's below that, and then you watch Alabama or Clemson, whoever else. Well, maybe not Clemson right now, but Alabama, and you can see the other side. So
I don't remember being so invested and excited about the college football playoff talk leading up to the actual playoff itself. Usually I don't even care.
You like the chaos.
This year we have some chaos, and it's fun. So we saw last week TCU win to stay undefeated, and now they will be, third? I mean, I heard people say they could be number one with their resume.
That's right.
But you still got Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, who are undefeated. You had Oregon lose to take them out. USC is now 9-1. They play LSU and Notre Dame, two ranked teams. How high can Lincoln Riley's team get?
If they win those games, they're in.
But again, somebody's got to come out. Ohio State, Michigan loser. Are they done so?
You got to think so.
One loss Tennessee. What do you do with them? One loss North Carolina.
I don't know. It's what's tragic about it is those teams are really, really good. There are going to be some really, really good teams on the outside.
I feel like Tennessee should be in it.
But
they're not. They're probably not.
But these good teams, and then the last time they play a regular season game, we talked about it a little bit last week. Some of these teams will go back out and their top dudes won't play, that don't get into the playoff, and that's kind of unfortunate, because if you're talking about like Tennessee, it's not going to even be the same product, so it's hard to even get fired up about and Tennessee, or whoever it is that's on the outside looking in, it's still going to have a really good bowl.
Yeah, and that's why it takes away from like whoever the Group of 5 team is that plays that SEC team. Like it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Hey, there's an idea going back to our NIL conversation. Maybe if it's the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, maybe they write each player a check to play in that game.
All right.
Now that would be a wonder what it would take to get like a guy who's a first rounder, projected first rounder to play in that game.
Oh, that's a good point though. He's about to make millions.
Right.
Like,
So
I was thinking like $100 check or something for every player.
I'm like 50,000.
Yeah, but you got to pay are you paying different players different amounts of money?
Yeah. You have to, right? There's some value there. It could almost be like
But for that walk-on to get $100 check to play the game?
Sweet.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And all he's got to do is hold up a chip. But you could almost have like a fantasy situation. Like
because they do have to do something for Tostitos.
Yeah.
So do a Twitter post.
Boom, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. After the game, a bag of chips on the head.
I don't know how much you're joking about this, Mully, but
no, I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah, to get players to play in bowl games. Yeah, you might be right. All right. Anything else going on, Mully?
Man, lots of stuff. Did you see Rory? I know you don't follow golf very closely. Rory came out firing at Greg Norman again. Rory better hope that the LIV Tour and the PGA Tour can figure something out, which it does not look promising that will happen.
When you say figure something out,
like maybe the ability to coexist.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if not, Rory's going to find himself playing in a JV tour, which it's kind of look, man. I love Tony Finau. You know this. We've talked about this before. Tony Finau went how long without winning? A long time. He's now won twice in the last year. Now, why do we think that may be?
It's kind of like our Tulane versus or UCF versus Auburn.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Yeah. It's the. I mean, and it's not. Again, it's not that maybe Dustin Johnson doesn't play in that event, but there are guys on the LIV Tour, several that would have been in these events that Tony's won. Tony's finished in the top 10 a bunch. Now, when you remove some of those guys, that creates that upper mobility that is kind of by default.
The LIV Tour is out there existing on its own with plenty of financial backing, correct?
Unspendable money.
But their next step, I mean, they do want to have a TV contract,
so
right?
The last I saw or read, they were negotiating a deal with Fox that they were going to buy time and do their own deal. No different than if I came in, for people listening, that if I came on here and said, look, I want to do a show, but I'll sell the ads, I'll do whatever. You just tell me what that hour of time, I want to do it from 4 to 5, whatever.
And then you get the money from the ads.
So if Pirate Radio charged me $1,000 for that hour, if I could sell $10,000 worth of ads, then giddy up.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the LIV Tour's approach, which I think is kind of interesting. And Fox has got to be going, dude, this is perfect for us.
So they don't have any PGA Tour stuff. That's NBC and ESPN.
Fox has had some things intermittently, and I don't remember what the events were, but no, most of them are CBS, NBC, obviously Golf Channel.
Yeah. Interesting. Because that, if they are starting to be recognized and be watched and become the number one option for golf viewers.
Well, what's happened is now all of a sudden Ricky Fowler allegedly is going to make the move. Patrick Cantlay allegedly is making the move, and Xander Schauffele. So two of those guys are top 10 in the world rankings, and Ricky Fowler's just obviously a draw. Everybody still digs the orange.
Mike P likes your Eastery pastel-colored quarter zip.
Sweet. Thank you.
Good. Callaway.
Appreciate that.
Ready for the course. All right, Mully.
Good day to play today.
Beautiful, beautiful weather outside.
It's like MAC football out there.
It is. Getting ready for some action tonight.
MAC-tastic.
Mully, we'll check in with you later, man.
Okay. All right. That was fun. Yeah.
It was kind of quick.
Yeah.
What else do we got?
No. We're good.
Yeah, I don't know if we missed anything.
No, enjoyed it.
I want to get you to a basketball game, though.
I'm in.
I'm going to send you an invite privately.
A DM?
I'm going to slide into them, buddy.
You DM me?
I'm going to slide into those DMs.
You can just call me if you want to.
All right, fine. Okay. Let's take a break. We'll come back. When we return, we'll talk to Sam Razz from the Scott and Holman podcast covering Houston athletics. We're 6-4. They're 6-4. But it's a different 6-4. They are having a disappointing season out in Houston. We'll talk about that when we return on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood, our special guest today. Jeff, the holiday travel season is here. Folks are going to be traveling. How can you help them out in the service department?
With the winter months coming, customers are putting on new tires, getting alignments, making sure we check their brakes. We also have an increase in parts inventory, so that's speeding up the process for the customer. And don't forget, we have free pickup and drop-off. To make an appointment, you can visit our website at brownandwood.net or give us a call at 252-355-6080. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Don't stress this holiday season. Give the gift of beauty. A gift certificate from Beauty Bar Medi-Spa will not only bring a smile to that special someone, it will smooth wrinkles, tighten skin, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair. Visit the professionals at Beauty Bar Medi-Spa in Greenville. Available now. Gift certificate specials for her or him and BOGO stocking stuffers. You save and they glow. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Go Pirates!
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
Do you find it hard to stay healthy during the holidays? You're not alone. The secret is in all in what you eat. At Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, we have certified dietitians to provide you with accurate advice on the eating plan and lifestyle choices that you need to make to help you live well. You need more than just an internet search to be able to get a plan that fits your unique needs. Your dietitian will customize an eating plan that is specific to your goals, your budget, and your lifestyle while providing coaching along the way. Sign up today at kptonline.com.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American Airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Take a hit from a 300-pound linebacker, and you better be wearing pads. Take a hit on the road, and you better have good auto coverage. When you've got North Carolina Farm Bureau Auto Insurance, you've got the best local agents ready to help you bounce back. If you don't, well, you'll probably play football without a helmet, too. In Pitt County, call Brandon Manning or Randy Daniels at 252-756-3007. North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina Incorporated. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. An independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
This is Stephen Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
Hi, this is Parker Bunch. When I'm not hitting dingers or going viral, I'm listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by First Bank. Together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Visit the First Bank location on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville for all your personal and business banking needs. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? We'll keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's Clip.
Pirates, Cougars going at it Saturday. 2 o'clock pregame coverage beginning 10 a.m. right here on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, taking you up to that kickoff. Let's talk some Houston Cougars football now. Every time the Cougars and Pirates get together, we reach out to our buddies from the Scott and Holman podcast, and Sam Razz joining us today here on the Pit Electric Live line to talk about these Houston Cougars. Sam, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Despite the best efforts of my alma mater's football team, I am bright and chipper and here to talk some Cougars Pirates with you.
One more time, the Cougars and the Pirates will go at it as AAC members. Houston off to the Big 12, and you've got that going for you there, Sam. I've talked to folks from UCF and from Cincinnati as well, and just kind of the anticipation to join a new league. And I know if I was in y'all's shoes, I'd be excited about it. Just about as the season goes along, how much are you thinking about the future and next year and the Big 12?
A fair amount. I think what's most exciting about it is just a chance to play a bit more of a regionally appropriate schedule. I don't know why that was difficult for me to say there. Not that I haven't enjoyed our time in the American. I think the American, as we have, both of our respective teams were formerly to say it now in the American, I think we can honestly say the American is a step up there, but it'll be nice to the kind of teams that your average Houston fan interacts with more. If you're your average Houston fan, you probably know a good number of people that went to Baylor, a good number of people who went to Texas Tech, TCU, even Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, and that's just not something you got from even the more geographically appropriate schools in the American, like your Tulanes or Tulsa or SMU. You just didn't really encounter a lot of those fans. So that's exciting, I think, in the biggest picture sense, but also it kind of makes this season that much more worrying that this team has struggled in the areas it's struggled in, and looking ahead, your schedule is going to be considerably harder. You are going to be facing considerably fewer teams where you can get away with what the Cougars have done this year in terms of football product. So maybe in a little picture sense, that's worrying, but I think, on the whole, if you're a Cougar fan, and include myself in that, you're pretty excited about the move that's coming up here next season.
Sam Razz joining us, talking Houston football. East Carolina right now sitting at a disappointing 6-4, or I guess more of a frustrating 6-4, whereas Houston, maybe the word disappointing is more appropriate with the expectations going into this year. And kind of a big picture question here, Sam, I'm curious about. I guess maybe Dana Holgorsen is one of those guys that if he's on your team, you love him. If he's not, you hate him. He does not have the probably highest approval rating outside of Houston. So I'm curious for Houston fans, what's the thought, the take on Dana Holgorsen as head coach?
I think the things that I would say makes him not have the highest approval rating, as you put it, among fan bases outside of Houston, I don't know if that's the big concern. I think the big concern is just that in a season where expectations were high, this wasn't a situation where expectations were high externally and the team was like, well, we still have things to work on. The team was very much in on we came close last year. This is the year where we get over the hump. We're trying to be this year Cincinnati. It was definitely not slow played by the people in the football building, and to have the kind of season you're having. And then just at certain points this year to have Holgorsen, after a really frustrating, a much closer it should have been win over Rice, to have him say after the fourth week in a row the team just really not playing good disciplined football, well, I don't take any responsibility for that. He did a few days later say, well, I was speaking in frustration. I do take responsibility, mea culpa, blah, blah, blah. I think he was saying the truth the first time, and I think that's been frustrating. There was a point during the Tulane game where he was openly yelling and gesturing at fans. So that's not to say that winning can't cure that, but it's frustrating because this is year 4. This is his team in terms of the roster, in terms of the assistants. You can't. I think in the first year or two, you could look at the previous staff and the recruiting families of those previous staff and say, okay, well, the staff's trying to dig their way out of that. That's not the case. This is fully their program, but the results have been pretty disappointing. So I would say if his shtick was accompanied by winning, if his shtick was accompanied by a team that was 8-2 or 9-1 right now, I don't think many of us have a problem with it. But given the way this season has played out, I think the disappointing aspects of the season to date so far, it makes it that much tougher to stomach, I guess, if that answers your question. And he is very much not going anywhere, by the way. This man is owed a buyout well into 8 figures. We're not talking Jimbo Fisher territory here. I think I saw somewhere around 17, 18 million, but even with this program going to the Big 12, 17, 18 million to buy out a coach isn't something we have exactly in the couch cushions here.
Yeah, so Dana Holgorsen will be making the move with the team and the school to the Big 12. Sam Razz joining us. Sam, boy, you play some fun games just looking at the averages. Houston is averaging 37 points a game. They're giving up 36 points a game, and we've seen some nail biters. Boy, I think both you and I helped crush the souls of Memphis with the way those games turned out this year. So there's been some entertaining games. There's been some disappointing ones, but let's go offensively here with Clayton Tune. We talked to some players on Monday inside the Players Lounge, and they are very well aware of the quarterback and the offense that Houston has. So what's gone right? Who are some players to watch coming up on Saturday?
I think that's one of the encouraging things about the last month of some change. That was the really frustrating thing early on, is that we had high hopes with offense. We actually kind of expected some defensive regression, though, as we'll probably get to, not nearly as much as what we have actually seen. But really in the last month and change, you've seen the offense that we were kind of expected to start the season with, a fifth-year quarterback who's within his fourth year in Dana Holgorsen's system, and he's done really well. He's a guy that can move the pocket with his feet. I think we saw a lot of encouraging things last year, but we were also seeing a guy who I think spent a lot of last year still recovering from a hamstring injury he suffered early on. We're seeing mobility that we haven't seen from Clayton Tune previously. I don't think you're going to see 15 to 20 designed runs in Greenville on Saturday, but you're going to see him stretch the pocket with his feet. You're going to see some designed runs and him be able to find guys by moving around the pocket. So I think that's been very impressive. And a guy who really, there aren't many throws he can't make. So that, if nothing else, has been really encouraging. See Clayton Tune finally put it all together. And I think if you were to assign blame for why this team is 6-4 to this point, I think Clayton Tune would be near the bottom of that list. But it's been really encouraging. Tank Dell, I think anyone who's even half aware of this Houston team will know that Tank Dell is going to be the first option in terms of who Clayton Tune's going to throw the ball to. But I think what's made this offense really from about the fourth quarter of the Memphis game through present so impressive is that it hasn't just been the Tank Dell show. Tank Dell is going to be Tune's first option throwing the ball, but you've seen guys like Sam Brown, Christian Trahan at times in the tight end position, Keyshawn Carter, and the last couple of weeks, one of the program's best ever recruits in the modern era, Matthew Golden, who the Cougs flipped from TCU last year, signing day. He caught the game winner against Temple, a really nice diving grab to the end zone, and had 100-plus yards in that shootout loss to SMU. So deep receiving options too. At running back, Stacey Sneed, a third-year COVID freshman who really didn't see, I don't think, any action his first 2 years on campus, is starting to find his own. He had well over 10 yards of carry. Against Temple, has some values, an all-purpose guy. I think one of the really strong positives coming out of this year, however it finishes up, is Sneed really looks like a guy who can make that leap to the Big 12, is going to be a difference maker in the next couple of years, along with Alton McCaskill, who was great last year, but unfortunately out for the season in the spring. And the offensive line's played better, too. I think if the Cougs have any chance in winning in Greenville on Saturday, it's going to have to do up. The offensive line is going to have to give Clayton Tune the kind of time to find his receivers they've been giving him the last 4 or 5 weeks. And I think that's a really encouraging sign, too, because every single one of the offensive linemen who is started or played is projected to be back for next year, potentially the year after that. So for all the negatives I have about this team, for the dour tone I probably had to start there, there are a lot of reasons to be excited offensively. It's just the whole stopping people has been a bit of a challenge.
That it has, and of course we all know about the 77-63 final against SMU. Maybe more alarming that Temple's able to score 36 points on Houston last week. But before we get to the defense, I'm just curious. There's a lot of guys out there, and I've done this with college basketball and to some degree college football, but When an opponent sees that Holton Ahlers is still in East Carolina, like how shocked are you that Holton Ahlers is still playing college football, Sam?
Because I remember, actually, I was out in, you remember, I saw you while I was out there. I was out in Greenville,
that
2018 game, which Holton Ahlers played a decent amount in. And that was Major Applewhite's last year. It's been a good long while since Major Applewhite has been the head coach of this program. That's my kind of point of reference. It's just like, wow, wasn't this guy a upcoming future of the program guy 4 or 5 years ago? So no, I would say probably a similar thing with Clayton Tune and Arsenal as well. But I think it's been nice to see both of those guys. I think even in frustrating seasons at times for their respective teams, I feel like put it together and look like the kind of quarterbacks that I think both of our respective fan bases thought they could be.
Yeah, and look, college sports fans have complained for years and years that it ain't like it used to be, and we don't recognize any of these players, and they don't stick around. And sure, the transfer portal is out there, and you see guys move, but I know one thing about Houston basketball, because I keep bringing this up, North Carolina, Gonzaga, Houston, the teams at the top have some familiar names, and that's great to see. You can say the same about AAC football this season, but anyway, kind of getting sidetracked here. This Houston defense, Sam, you know what? Give me a positive. Give me a bright side. Like if they do play well on Saturday, what will it be because of?
I think this is still a talented defensive front. I think it can be a good run defense. You could look at some of the games this year. I mean, Temple basically had to go away from the run game entirely. I think their top guy, Edward Sadie, after having a career game against South Florida, I think had something like 17 carries for 20 yards against the Cougars. You could probably find a few other performances like that from the season. Nelson Caesar and DeAnthony Jones are good pass rushers. I think the problem has been, I think last year the defense, one, had 2 NFL cornerbacks in Marcus Jones and Demarion Williams, and 2, had a pass rush that could get home a bit more effectively than this specific group was able to. I think, 1, you lost some good DBs from last year, and 2, as good at times as Jones and Caesar and the Cougar pass rush, and even the run defense can be, it's not getting home quick enough, and you're getting the worst of both worlds in terms of how a blitz specifically exposes you in the back end defenses. So we'll go into what's wrong with this defense on a question what's positive. So I would say this can be a good run defense, though. Games against Kansas, SMU also exposed that this run defense, when it's allowed to, or when it's asked to really be disciplined and really set the edge, has failed pretty miserably against those 2 opponents in doing so.
Sam, how about the buy-in here the last 2 games? Sometimes when your goals of a conference championship and being ranked and things like that are out of reach, you'll see teams kind of pack it in. I mean, is there any of that going on with Houston right now here late in the year, or you expect them to fight for 60 minutes on Saturday?
I don't think so. As bad as the SMU game was, and believe me, it was every bit as bad as that 77 score that SMU put up. It wasn't quitting. Maybe that was the most alarming thing. Is it didn't look like a bunch of guys that had quit. It didn't look like a bunch of guys who were going through emotions out there. It was these guys playing their best, and their best still allowed SMU to score 77. So I don't expect them to quit on Saturday. I don't expect you to see a team that's going through the motions. I think it's a team with a lot of pride. It's a team that, even though it hasn't come to fruition, a team that probably, if you gave them truth serum, rightly or wrongly, still believes that they should be one of those teams competing for the conference championship. I think the 10 weeks have proven pretty accurately that they're not. But I don't think it's a team that's quit, and that's kind of why actually I bought on Holgorsen early, was because that 2019 team where a lot of guys sat out, a lot of guys got hurt. It was just really the perfect storm of a bad season. I remember that team second to last game up at Tulsa with absolutely nothing to play for, went out there and beat them, and were clearly playing their butts off. And I think it's never been, an issue of guys seeming like they bought in. I mean, guys buy in. I don't think Houston's been very high in terms of number of key guys transferring out. I think you see a lot of 2, 3, and 4 year guys from your stars on both sides of the ball. It just clearly hasn't added up to a championship or even remotely top 25 caliber team, kind of like we were hoping in the preseason.
Sam Razz joining us, part of the Scott and Holman podcast, joining us here on Pirate Radio Live, getting you ready for ECU and Houston. And quick basketball note before we let you go, Sam. Houston winning every game by 30, 40 points here early in the year. They'll get a test coming up on a Sunday at Oregon on ESPN. That'll be a fun one to keep an eye on. But are we at a point now where it's like a Final Four bust for this Houston team? I mean, top 3 preseason ranking. We know how good Kelvin Sampson's guys have been. So is that the expectation for this season?
You know, the tournament is so volatile that anytime you say Final Four bust, I mean, you could have one bad game. You could be hitting, a 13 seed, whoever this year's Oral Roberts or this year's BC is. And you have one bad afternoon of basketball, and that's the season. So, but I would say, all the preseason expectations very much justified. I haven't really played a team that has tested you yet, though. I would say Oral Roberts will be one of the better mid-majors out there. The Cougars just evaporated them last night at the Fertitta Center, but I think we'll really learn something about this team from that game this coming Sunday in Eugene against Oregon. I'm actually very excited. I'm going to be out there in person to see the Cougars play, see what this team looks like in person for the first time. And I think through 3 games, they've done nothing to tamp down that hype. They've done nothing for you to think, this team might need until January or February to gel. They've looked like an elite defensive team. And I think what's most impressive from my perspective, what's most scary if you have Houston on the schedule is that it's, Marcus Sassler, your lead guard, has a down game. If Jamal Shedd, your all-concentrating point guard, has a down game, you just look at the St. Joe's game on Friday. Those 2 guys were a combined 1 of 11 from the field, and the Cougars still won by 26 and basically went by 20 or more from the under 12 media timeouts at the end of the game. There are just so many options from Jarris Walker, McDonald's All-American freshman, to Jaywan Roberts, a 4th-year junior starter, Terrence Arsenault, who was a national top 50 guy, coming off the bench. This team can legitimately go 11, 12 guys deep. This second unit is as good as any second unit I've seen on a Kelvin Sampson team. Again, a lot has to go right for you to get to the Final Four, even if you're one of the creme de la creme. But I think even acknowledging the last 2 years are really freaking good, that the last 2 years are hard acts to live up to, I think this is Kelvin Sampson's best team he's had since he's gotten here. That's high praise because I think he's had several very good teams in the past several years here at Houston.
Sam, great info, great insight. Appreciate it as always. By the way, if you're talking hoops on the podcast and you want a quick East Carolina nugget, Mike Schwartz in year 1, they are 2-0, and in their first game against Mercer, they were down by 16 points in the first half, came back and won that one. In their second game against Presbyterian, they're down 23-4 10 minutes into the game, and they end up winning that game by 20. So just some insane, swings in those games here, the first 2 for East Carolina. So a little nugget there if you go around the AAC for you to use and look smart.
I watched a good amount of the Mercer game because I'm a college basketball sicko, and I thought that was really impressive considering he's largely starting from scratch with his roster. I thought early on that might be it, that Mercer might really just pound you guys, and the fact that the team came back like they did, I think it's a good sign. I think I'm sure everyone has their expectations pretty reasonable in year 1, but I don't think you should take anyone for granted. I thought the Mercer one in particular was actually pretty impressive.
Sam, thanks for joining us. For folks that want to check you out, know more about the enemy, where can we find the SNH podcast?
Yeah, we were actually previewing the Pirates along with everything else going on in the Cougar world tonight with my co-host Gus. You can find us on any podcast platform out there, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, etc. I just search the Scott and Holman podcast. As quick reference, that's PAWD cast, because if nothing else, we love really cheesy puns. We are most active on Twitter for as long as Twitter exists, at SHPAWD cast there to, as Clip said, get to know the enemy a little better here in game week.
All right, Sam, thanks for joining us, man, and we'll catch up again down the road.
Absolutely. Great as always, Clip.
All right, Sam Razz from the Scott and Holman podcast talking Houston football, a disappointing 6-4 for them. They are 4-2 in conference play, and these teams kind of jockeying for best regular season record, best conference record, and best, bowl opportunities here late in the year. Let's take a break. We'll come back, wrap up Hour 2. Hour 3, Bryce Williams joins us, and we'll talk to the captain, Shane Carden. We'll be on in Hour 3 as well. It's all ahead on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Are you looking for a home loan? Look no further than Amy Goss at Guild Mortgage. Since 1960, Guild Mortgage has partnered with industry professionals to close loans on time and help millions of Americans realize their dreams. Call Amy Goss at Guild Mortgage in Jacksonville, 910-389-4602. Amy Goss is licensed in Florida, Georgia, Maine, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Guild Mortgage Company, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS 3274. NMLSconsumeraccess.org /for licensing information. Please visit guildmortgage.com /licensing. Guild Mortgage is not affiliated with Pirate Radio.
Hey, Ellerby, have you tried our new menu at Clean Eats?
I was planning on going there today. Tell me what's new.
First of all, you're going to love our new melts. A melts is a quesadilla folded over like a sandwich full of things like beef and queso and chicken parm.
Scott, tell me you got more.
Man, I do. We have pretzel bites with queso, our fabulous meat and taters wrap, and we even have Clean Eats mac and cheese, complete with beef or chicken on top.
It all sounds awesome. I'm going to head over there now.
Fantastic. I hope to see everybody at Clean Eats, 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, you know why we're here. The football season is back! Woo! That means those pregame barbecues with an ice-cold Pepsi? Totally back. Your perfectly placed football watching corner seat back and comfy as ever. 18 Sundays of touchdown scoring, Hail Mary throwing, ice-cold Pepsi flowing football action. You better believe it's back. And since that's too amazing to miss a single second's worth, Pepsi is officially giving you permission to always put football first. And when we say always, we mean always. Like when your lawn is looking less like a lawn and more like a jungle. If the game's on, then the lawnmower ain't. And those gutters you haven't cleaned, today is not their day. Or maybe those in-laws are back in town. Well, better hope they're football fans because your Sunday is completely booked. Long story short, crack open a Pepsi and don't let anything get between you and your football watching. With love, Pepsi, made for football watching. That's what I like.
This is Rajay Harris, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by First Bank. Together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Visit the First Bank location on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville for all your personal and business banking needs. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You can watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. You can watch Pirate Radio Live, of course, Monday through Friday from 3 until 6 p.m. And the Bud Light pregame tailgate and the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter postgame call-in show on game days. Just go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, and click on the subscribe button. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Let's do a quick Tuesday vibe check. Chandler, East Carolina, and Houston. Pirates coming off a loss takes them out of the running for the AAC championship. Still a lot to play for. Senior Day kind of taking center stage coming up on Saturday. Pirates are a 6-point favorite. Over-under is 67. How do you feel about the game?
I'm feeling really good. I'm glad that the Pirates are finally back home after the 4 straight home games to start the season in September. It seems like the Pirates have been away from home for quite a while. It's been about a month since the Pirates last played at home against, I believe UCF was that last home game in Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. So on the road, you travel across the country to BYU, you win one there, and you stay closer to this side of the coast and play a really good Cincinnati team and come up short. You worry about C.J. Johnson and Keaton Mitchell, but we have had word from Mike Houston that they're back this week, and I think these seniors are going to play with all the heart they have. And I'm feeling really good even after a loss to Cincinnati. So Pirates a 6-point favorite against Houston. That kind of worries me a little bit, I think, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to say right now on a Tuesday with kickoff at 2 o'clock on Saturday, my vibe is probably about a 6.5 right now. So, and I think it's going to get better as the week goes on. But you know, a lot of these seniors on this program that are going to get recognized on Saturday, really helped change this program into what it is today. And they've seen the highs and the lows, and they've seen the bottom of the barrel of this program. So, I think this football team's going to go out there and play their hearts out for these seniors. And 6.5, anything over 5, you're feeling pretty good. So I'm going to go 6.5.
Yeah, I thought this would be closer to a field goal spread than a touchdown spread. But it is 6 right now. And East Carolina's been really good against the spread this year. So obviously Navy was a spread loss and Tulane was a spread loss. What was the Memphis line? East Carolina was probably favored by more than 2, I'm thinking.
Okay.
So that was probably an L. So that would put them at 7-3, I believe, against the spread this year. So Vegas likes the Pirates and giving them some points this week when they take on Houston. Maybe says more about just Houston and what they've been this year. Just giving up a ton of points, and it sets you up where you think East Carolina can get into the 30s, 40s, maybe beyond this week, and would kind of be disappointed if they aren't, the way this Houston defense has performed.
Yeah, and the Pirates, you're looking at a potential 1,000-yard rusher in Keaton Mitchell that if he does so, he will do it in back-to-back years. And you're looking at potentially 2 receivers that could eclipse 1,000 yards this year. So 2 receivers with 1,000 yards and a running back with 1,000 yards really tells you where this offense has been this year. And the Pirates can put up points, especially when Holton Ahlers is finding guys like C.J. Johnson and Ryan Jones and other guys like that. And, of course, the run game with Keaton Mitchell, obviously his workload has had to go up this year with the injury of Rajay Harris. And I think the Pirates can look really good on Saturday against a Houston defense that you mentioned has struggled this year. So don't be surprised if the Pirates put it in the 30s. Maybe the 40s. We shall see.
We'll be with you 10 a.m. Saturday morning on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, taking you up to the 2 o'clock kickoff. East Carolina, the home finale coming up on Saturday. We'll take a break, come back. When we return, Bryce Williams will be here, and he will be interviewing former East Carolina quarterback Shane Carden. That is on the way. Bryce, one-on-one with the captain, when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Megan State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome prices on boats from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit greenvilleautoworld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, you can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today.
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
It's bow time. Why are Bojangles Chicken Supremes called Supremes? Well, with golden crispy chicken tenderloins this juicy, tender, and full of bold flavor, what else would you call them? Superbs? Nah, that would be weird. Get your Chicken Supremes combo today with a scratch-made biscuit, your choice of fixin', legendary iced tea, and have you heard there's a new sauce in town? Try our new creamy buffalo sauce when you get a Chicken Supremes combo today. It's bow time.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi-Spa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultation is available by calling 752-1406 or visiting beautybarmedispa.com. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, welcome in hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Rock, Shirley Rhodes, the man of Chan, and former ECU tight end Bryce Williams joining us in studio. How you doing, Bryce?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Good to see you yesterday. Out at the Murphy Center.
Yeah.
Saw a great speech, great presentation, and be a coffee bean, man.
Be a coffee bean.
That was a heck of a story.
That
we heard yesterday.
that was quite a story for sure. He went from nothing to something.
He went from something to nothing
to something.
And it was a lot of fun to hear Damon West on Monday give his story. We actually, if you have not heard about Damon West, you can check it out via podcast form or watch it on video on YouTube or Facebook. All right, so here's what we got here. So a while back, I was talking to Shane Carden on via Twitter, and he said, have Bryce Williams people contact my people. I want Bryce Williams to interview me. I was like, fair enough. I've talked to Shane quite a few times over the years. And Bryce, you've been with us every week, and you've been in that chair answering my questions.
Right.
But how about a little role reversal?
Yeah.
How about you take over the show?
Goodness.
You be the host, you be the interviewer, and you conduct the interview with Shane Carden, and you said, hey, let's do it, buddy.
Let's do it. I got some big shoes to fill here. You're a vet here.
All right, so Bryce, the floor is yours, my friend.
Do we go?
Yeah.
All right, let's head out to the Pitt Electric Live line. Pitt Electric, your trusted electrical partner since 1981 and ENC's premier electrical contractor for the past 40-plus years. Pitt Electric is hiring. Join their team today by going to pittelectric.com.
And now introduce Shane. Welcome him.
Oh, yeah. And now introducing Shane Carden.
Hey, Bryce. Thanks for having me on.
Hey. I couldn't have made that introduction any more fitting, could I?
Yeah, I mean, I thought your plug was great. I was pretty impressed by that. But you could have at least gave me, like, some kind of, old quarterback or,
Oh, yeah.
Give him
Do I need to run that back?
Run over his resume a little bit.
His resume, Shane Carden. I think, in opinion, and very Pirate Nation's very opinion, future Hall of Fame, East Carolina Pirate. I don't know your specifics on your passing yards, but I know it's in the thousands, I would say. Several touchdowns.
Several.
Some great, huge wins against ACC opponents. I think definitely got ECU back on the map. The iconic ECU Pirate Nation bicep tap picture that he has flaunted all over the opponents. So that was beautiful. Goodness gracious. I mean, I could keep going.
that was good. I think that's funny.
A well-missed Pirate, for sure. He's all the way in the... Where are you at exactly then, Shane, for people who don't know?
I'm up in Idaho, Haley, Idaho, next to the resort Sun Valley. It's a beautiful, beautiful area.
Oh, yeah. I remember I was fortunate enough to be up there this summer for a special day. So what you doing up there now these days, Shane?
Well, we're coaching some high school football up here. Just finished our season, made it to the playoffs, first time in 6 years. Our team had been there, so exciting year for us. And it was the seniors were my first class coming in, fourth year head coach, so it was a pretty special year. Pretty similar to what's been going on with ECU, man. A lot of really close games, a lot of tough losses, and also some great wins. So pretty similar year there. So doing some coaching and, trying to sell some real estate. Man, it's just an interesting, real estate market right now.
Oh, for sure. I guess bringing your team for the first time in the playoffs has to say something about the old head coach, because that would be your position there, Penn.
Yeah, well, a great man once told me, and I think you know him pretty well. His name's Ruff McNeil. But, a head coach is only as good as his assistant coaches, and we got a great group up here, and they make it a lot of fun coming into work every day and coaching those kids. And no, it was a fun year, without a doubt.
Man, that's exciting stuff. How far were you able to go in the playoffs, if you don't mind me asking there?
No, we got first round, and doing my research, trying to find the last time our school had won a playoff game. Trying to get the guys, something to go for. And in the research, I found out that Wood River has never won a playoff game, and we drove up 10 hours to Bonners Ferry, actually close to another ECU football alum, close to where he lives, Jeremy Grove, and we came out with a tough loss, close one where a couple plays go different ways, and we're sitting there in the history books, but it definitely gave us the confidence, and this team program some confidence to move forward next year.
Heck yeah, boy, that sounds exciting. I guess the team's ready to get back. When will y'all get back into, I guess, workouts, or what would be a high school routine or schedule up in Old Haley, Idaho?
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in the winter, but, we'll really start getting after break, getting our before school workouts going. Some of the guys are already in the class right now, but, we'll really start getting that going here after Christmas break.
Go. Now, I know obviously being under Coach Ruff, you've had to have pulled a saying from Coach Ruff that you say to your football team. You got to have at least one.
I have said several quotes. I hit him with the one time with the, "Hey, I've been in your shoes, you ain't been." Okay. I say all the time, "Hey, it's too coincidental to be coincidental."
There
I told the coaches one night, I said, "Hey, don't worry about me, worry about the bear."
Hey, you're coming up with some on your own, I'm sure. I guess you being a ball coach now, I guess have you talked to Coach Ruff or Coach Riley recently or lately? I guess we just saw Coach Riley, but Ruff or anything as the season's gone on with Coach Riley?
Yeah, a little bit. I got to go see them play at Utah, which was fun, and I might have stolen a few things I saw on the field for our playoff game, but that's what coaching's all about. When I last talked to Ruff just shortly before, the wedding, and then, right after when he wasn't able to make it, but we talked a little bit after that. And then actually that weekend, you guys don't know, but me and Riley FaceTime Ruff, and we started talking with him a little bit, and kind of private one of those nights.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a blast. But, they always have great things to say about coaching, that. And, as you get to go through different leagues, see different coaches, you appreciate the ones that you feel have truly cared for you. And I'm sure you've learned that, through your different teams you went on after ECU. And, I'm pretty confident in saying those two guys, the whole staff especially, but those two guys, the guys I spent a lot of time with, definitely cared about us and took care of us, I think, in a great way.
Man, that's exciting. Old Shane gonna be an old ball coach. Well, good deal. Well, obviously, I think Clip knows, and I've been telling them, you're obviously coming back to ECU for the first time in 5 years. What's your expectations? Of course, I filled you in, but I guess you're gonna have quite a bit of deja vu and a lot of reminiscing this weekend, I'm assuming, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. And first of all, I want to just say I'm surprised Clip hasn't jumped in. You're doing a hell of a job.
He's killing it.
I know, they're like, just like we like throwing the football around. Like, I jump in, if two guys are playing catch, start playing some catch. I'm surprised Clip hasn't yet. But, no. Hey, man, I'm stoked. I'm a huge fan of Mike Houston, watching everything he's done, turning around the program. There's definitely some things I've seen him done in interviews that I've definitely pulled to my program and try to infuse into our minds, as we're trying to work on a program, turning our program around here. So to get to meet him, I've never met Holton, and I haven't seen the new facilities, and they're just going to make a brand new visit for me all over again. So I couldn't be more excited where this team's at right now. Just a couple plays away from being a totally different season. But I mean, you look at where we were a year ago, and then you really look at where we were 2 years ago. I mean, we got to be proud of where this thing is going and what they've been able to accomplish. So, I know we all want to be conference champs and 10 wins all the time. But you got to appreciate what's going on in the program that had some bumps and bruises on it a few years ago, and look where we're at now. We're not just happy about making bowl games, right? We're wanting to be in the talks of the conference picture, and I think that's awesome. I think ECU should always be in those talks, but let's not forget when I visited 5 years ago where this program was at. And so I'm definitely mindful of that. Sometimes it's hard to be, but let's appreciate what these guys are doing.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Can't let that go unnoticed. And, Holt Naylor said, today he's looking forward to meeting you this weekend. So that'll be cool. And in my eyes, you're obviously wonderful. So, it'd be cool to, I guess, meet Holton, and I guess I'm sure he's looking forward to, probably some old head advice from you.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, gunslingers, especially ECU ones, always go through some stuff. And I remember meeting David late in our career there, Bryce, and David Garrard, and just meeting another fellow gunslinger from ECU, and it's a cool bond. It's cool, always a cool meeting, and stuff. Seeing David at different games, or when I saw him 5 years ago, it was just kind of back to it, and it's nice to have that connection, man, and I hope we can always have that. Me and Holton after we meet, and go from there.
Oh, most definitely. And, you had your first official visit, to ECU I guess it's been more than 5 years ago. Obviously, you're a little older than me. So I guess you'll get your second official visit, this weekend. And I'm sure it'll be.
Me? Are you my host?
Yeah, I think that's on the books. We'll check out the facilities first, but I think I'd like to show you the dining hall, library, and things like that first. Student center. Yeah. And then, then we'll move into the important thing, the second important thing, and that's the football facilities, because, academics first, son, that's what we're teaching here at ECU. So, so I'm definitely excited to see you. It's going to be a big reunion. Now, fun little fact, I can't say I pulled this one out of my pocket. So the first or the last win against Houston was in 2012. I'm curious, do you know who the quarterback was?
Do I?
Yeah, 2012, versus Houston. If you're not familiar with the guy, he wore number 5, redhead, Shane Carden, and it was 48 to 28. Do you remember that game, any?
No, I sure do. I remember, a school that had, probably, 10 miles away from where I lived, didn't give me much time, and what some other guys, and they wanted to come see my new home, and we gave them quite a show for them to appreciate Greenville. And so I'm hoping for the same here come Saturday.
That's what I was thinking. I said, how coincidental, you're coming in town against Houston. So, I think you're going to bring some good juju to the stadium, and for us to, pull out a win. Do you, you had thrown 3 touchdowns that day. Do you remember that receiver?
To which receiver it was?
He had 3 touchdowns against Houston.
He had 4.
4. Well,
he threw 3 to one player.
Hey, my apologies, but I didn't mean to downgrade your stats. It was 3 touchdowns to a single receiver, which had 4 total touchdowns. Do you remember the 3 TD receiver?
It wasn't Danny, was it?
It was the old Webb. Number 33. Yeah, fun. I don't think I was quite. I might have been cheering you on.
I didn't see you in the box score, Bryce.
Yeah, I was in the box score. I think I may have given you a squirt of water bottle or a pat on the tushy. When you came off.
You are good at those.
See, that was good times, and I remember Shane actually just sent me a picture of him and I in the Carolina game when I was giving him this. He was my apple in my eye, so I was glancing down at him on the sideline. I think the score was, we were up like 30 or something. That was a wonderful game, wasn't it, there, Ben?
Yeah, it sure was. Hey, we were waiting. The watch party was going on for Friday night against Cincinnati. People over, and there was no pregame show, so I went on YouTube, figured I'd search an old game, and what do you know, that one popped up. So, I had to show, some people that one off.
If only I could grow my hair back long enough and we could almost recapture, that picture on the sidelines. But, man.
Get a wig or something for you.
A wig? Yeah, we'll have to go down there. I don't know if I'll ever go on the field, but you sure as might be able to. There we go, a little tongue-tied there.
You're doing great.
Yeah. But I guess as far as before the official visit by me, what's your plans on, you're going to go sightsee, take the old wife around town. I guess you can't show her where you lived anymore, but what's your plans, throughout the day?
Well, I just want to make sure. I think 10 years ago, Andrew Bodenheimer showed me around, and I know for that most part, a lot of things were paid for. So I just want to make sure that that's going to be kind of the same thing going on this upcoming weekend for my second official with you hosting me. I just want to make sure, when I decide on what restaurants to go to, that, it's on your dime, correct?
Oh, yeah, I'm buying. Well, it's obviously per diem that I get from the academic office. So it's not a huge ticket, but we'll be able to afford a few things. No alcoholic beverages. You're not of age yet. So, I had to sign a waiver to take a youngin' out. So we'll keep it good, but I think you'll really be pleased with what you see here, this new ECU, and I hope I can get your commitment, son.
I think it's looking good, but no, I'm really excited to see the new facilities. Plan on hanging around Friday and meeting some of the guys, hopefully, and seeing Tripp again and DK, and just being back, man. I'm really looking forward to it. Like you said, showing my wife ECU. We're like 2 hours away from Boise State, and we had gone to a game there, and had a friend of mine get us kind of these pregame passes where we've got to walk on a little corner of the turf, and she thought it was a pretty cool environment, and that's what I decided in my mind. My wife had to come to ECU because I didn't think it really touched what we have or are providing. So I'm really excited. I bet this 2 o'clock game is going to be rocking. I think it's a great time for a game. Makes it easy for everyone to get to. A lot of good time for tailgating, but not too much time, so Cliff won't be, passed out in the booth up there. So I'm really looking forward to showing it off and just being back with the guys, being back in Greenville, man. It's been too long.
I know it's gonna be a good time. I was fortunate enough to see you this summer, but it'll be something special to have you back at ECU, and especially all the other guys that are coming into town. And it'll be quite the reunion.
Yes, it will.
Well, do I say my farewells? Well, my brief farewells?
Well, let's just, first of all, let's give Bryce a round of applause because, you went an entire segment, and that was all you.
Hey, when I'm talking,
well done.
It's easy when I'm talking to old
yeah, but you did it well,
buddy
man.
Of mine, that's for sure.
Kept it rolling, conversation.
Yeah,
funny interjections.
I don't want to say I didn't think you had it in you, but I'm definitely happily surprised.
Are you proud of me, Papa?
I'm all proud of you.
Shane, now that that's over, I can ask you a question or two. ECU loves their own, and so every time there's like a coach opening or should we make a coaching change, everybody wants to bring back Steve Logan or Skip Holtz or Ruffin McNeil or even former players, and you've probably seen this on social media. Hey, why don't we bring in Shane as an offensive coordinator? Why don't we bring him back to ECU? And I'm sure you see that stuff, but as far as your coaching future, Shane, are you in it for the long haul here? Is this kind of your first stop maybe there and kind of see where it takes you? How serious are you about coaching football?
I think, where I'm at, I really appreciate. I've had some offers and questions that are kind of similar to that if I wanted to, go further or higher up. I think with my family, hopefully, getting large here in the next few years is just, I think it'd be hard for me to leave. I also would never say never on anything. I think as we all know, man, life changes, and the saying is, too coincidental to be coincidental. Some things happen that you may not expect. And you just got to go with it. But, at this time, I'm happy with what I got going, and happy with the young men I get to, be a part of their lives and hopefully help them to benefit with me there. So I guess I just totally didn't answer your question with a big, long answer.
Bryce, he is talking like a coach. That was impressive right there.
So I got the coach talk down. Bryce gave me all the nice softball ones, and comes in first time and gives me this nasty curve.
Well, Shane, you're the apple of my eye too, buddy.
That means a lot.
Shane, great to hear from you, and I know folks are jacked up to be seeing you around. Hopefully, you'll stop by the Pirate Radio tailgate zone, I'm sure. Stop by the studio if you maybe show your wife Pirate Radio and some stuff downtown Greenville Saturday. Come in and hang out with us. But what's your bro? We talk about Bryce's look. He's clean shaven now. He even got rid of the mustache he had going. Yeah. Shane, what's your look these days?
It's not like Bryce, but then again, not a lot of people are. So it's hard to do. I can always change it up. I'll probably be a little clean shaven for the game. Nothing too clean though. I don't like to get too baby faced. It makes me look way too young. I have a little more hair than Bryce, but not as long as his old hair. So it's kind of one of those things. Just got to wait and see.
He's a little tease for Saturday.
Oh, yeah, he's got some luscious reddish golden locks.
Yes,
I can give you a head.
Bryce, you really are a Shane fan, aren't you?
I love me some Penn. I love me some Shane.
Good stuff.
Special times.
Shane, great to hear from you, man. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. And, I'll be around pretty much downtown and the facilities all kind of Friday, so maybe I'll pop my head and see what you guys are doing.
Please do, man. We'll be here. There's Shane Carden.
Thanks, son.
The captain. Bryce, well done, buddy.
Thank you.
You drove that ship and parked it and everything. Cleaned it, looked after it. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
How'd you feel?
Good.
Like you said, you're talking to a buddy, so that takes a lot of the edge off.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of just rolling into something just kind of like we do, just go down a kind of rabbit hole and, something pops in. You're kind of brainstorming as you're talking.
Yeah. You're right, because you wrote down the notes I gave you about that game, but that was it.
Yeah.
Everything else, and you're kind of thinking in your head, all right, what's the timeline of this conversation going to look like, and where do I go next? And sometimes you got to ad-lib off their answer.
Yep.
And that was impressive, man.
Thank you.
I like this segment. I want to bring this back, Bryce interviewing folks. It makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah.
I get to kind of chill.
It is. I was at the helm there, but, but talking to Shane, it was obviously a lot easier. So, who knows what it'll be. If it's a topic, I know you kind of go everywhere. So it's tricky.
Oh, yeah. But that day we had the
fisherman,
the Big Rock. Yeah, and you kind of spearheaded that one. You did an awesome job.
Yeah.
Which shows you, if you know what you're talking about, you can conduct a good interview.
You talk, we got to talk bets and names and players. And
I'll take those for you.
Yeah, you take those for me, because that'll be a little tricky.
Good stuff. Bryce Williams, Shane Carden there, and looking forward to seeing Shane coming up this weekend. You can get up with him Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'd like to get up with them Friday. And,
you said some other teammates are rolling in too, right?
Obviously CJ, Jake. For some reason, I feel like Rocco's coming. I think, but
where's he at? Florida?
Mm-hmm. I think he is, but don't hold me to it. I feel like someone else is coming, but it might be just wishful thinking. I'm not really sure who all is coming for certain, though.
All right, a little bit of a homecoming here on Senior Day. We'll take a break, come back more with Bryce Williams. When we return, we'll get his thoughts on that bummer of a game Friday. It was a bummer for Bryce because he couldn't get it for a while. He had bad reception. But you were able to catch it, Bryce, and we'll talk about that. I'll ask what you remember about Senior Day. Did you have the eyeball sweat going, as Ruffin McNeil would say? We'll talk about that and more when we return. Stan says Bryce as host with the captain. He says Bryce has a new day job. Taking over the Bryce Williams Power Hour. We'll come up with a better name. Back with more after this.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest-free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
Hello, Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in our community and region. Pitt County Schools is currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. Come work for a diverse, thriving school system and be an important part of ensuring success for the students of Pitt County who are the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead. Are you suffering from anxiety, sleep issues, or chronic pain? Have you heard of CBD? Hemp Garden of Greenville is your premier CBD provider in Eastern North Carolina. Find yourself experiencing increased aches and pains as the cooler months roll in? Hemp Garden provides a variety of pain-relieving products, including topicals and tinctures. To find out more, visit Hemp Garden to speak to a CBD specialist in a relaxed and welcoming environment today. Exclusive discounts are offered to first-time customers. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. The Dickinson Avenue Public House is a lively and diverse restaurant in Greenville that utilizes fresh and local ingredients. With influences of Creole, Asian, and upscale Southern cuisine, the Dickinson Avenue Public House offers a seasonally rotating menu and a full-service bar with rotating craft brews on tap. Come to the intersection of 8th and Dickinson and enjoy $1 off drafts on Tuesday, half-price flights on Wednesday, half-price wine bottles on Thursday, and $1 oysters Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 to 7. For more details, check out their website at daphousenc.com.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Lang with Carolina Hardscapes, and we're excited to announce that we're Eastern North Carolina's premier fiberglass pool installation company. We partnered with industry-leading San Juan Pools so that we can build the backyard of your dreams. Whether it's an outdoor fireplace, patio, outdoor kitchen, or now a pool, give us a call at 364-1201 or find us on the web at carolinahardscapesandmulch.com so we can make your backyard the place to be. Go Pirates!
When I need jeans, I order online because I know exactly what I want. They have just one moving part, and if there's something wrong, I exchange them. Buying a vehicle, especially pre-owned, is way different. Lots of moving parts. You don't want to get stuck. For a worry-free purchase, visit Phelps Chevrolet. We've been here in town a very long time. You know us. You know we stand behind everything we sell. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Come get you one.
You've had your new computer a few years now, but lately it's been running super slow, acting strange, and you're worried about viruses and losing data.
This is driving me mad!
Let the experts at University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern professionally diagnose your Mac or PC to see what's really going on. They'll determine the root cause and not just symptoms, so you don't waste money fixing the wrong issues. Call 252-558-1280 for in-store or remote service, or make an appointment online at universitypccare.com.
Hi, this is Brian Meador from East Carolina Athletics. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service the number one priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Braxton Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Co-host Bryce Williams to my left. Chan Man, Shirley Rhodes. During the break, Chandler, you brought up, now this did occur in 2012. I'm reading an article that says this occurred days before the military appreciation game against Navy.
Oh.
But it was that 2012 season.
Yes.
So good memory. But you remember something happening. We remember a lot of great games, touchdowns on that Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium turf. But you remembered something else that happened that year.
I do. Some, as Bryce would say, jagleg, took his four-wheeler and did donuts on Bagwell Field and made the field look absolutely terrible. And I want to say...
Well,
I
do have another correction. It was not like his four-wheeler. They took
like a Gator or something?
The utility vehicles that were at the facility.
Wow.
And took them on there. 3 individuals used, how do you say that? Kubota utility vehicles to do donuts. And I forgot it was that much damage.
Oh, it was circles everywhere.
35,000.
Do you remember that happening, Bryce?
Now that you sent the picture, I do. Did they ever catch those guys? Do they have cameras?
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, I figured we have like cameras, right?
Well, I want to say that the damage
William Banks was arrested. He was a freshman at East Carolina. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that damage to the football field. I want to say it extended to that Houston game because I remember I brought a buddy of mine who was a State fan at the time. He ended up going and graduating from State, and I took him to that Houston game, and he was like, "Y'all's field looks like crap." And I was like, well, because somebody came on the field and did donuts. And so it did a lot of damage. And I just remember that. I remember that leading up to apparently that Navy game now that I know. And, the field looked awful because I guess a freshman decided let's have some fun. I'm sure he was not sober when he did it.
And how do we leave a key in the vehicles?
That's
too?
a good question. I don't know how in the world he was able to get access to a key or if a key was in there, but he was able to crank that thing up and take it for a joyride around Bagwell Field.
Ruffin McNeil said, "Why would you destroy our house? Dowdy Ficklin is precious to me, having played and bled on that. That is unacceptable that somebody would do that to our field. You know how I would handle it to the fullest extent of the law." And then here's an old article. The student it said no longer enrolled at ECU shortly after that. So if I was to do something dumb, we've all done dumb things, and break into Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, I would run routes and catch a touchdown in the end zone. But I love and respect the team, the school, everything too much, and other people's property that I wouldn't damage anything.
Right.
But if I was to be in there drunk at 3 a.m., I would run a fade and catch a ball and say, hey, this was a cool memory.
Yeah, score a touchdown.
Yeah. I would not damage it.
Redbeard on Twitter says that the guy damaged under the stadium too. He damaged water fountains and signage.
Yeah. So
sounds like a outstanding citizen.
Yeah. What year was the streaker?
That was 2010 against Southern Miss.
I was in the stadiums that game.
That was 2010 against Southern Miss.
Yeah, I was
do
in
remember
the boneyard.
Like as a
that might have
fan, or were you coming to
As a
school?
fan.
I tell you what,
I was at high school still.
Oh, okay.
That was actually 2011 against Southern Miss.
Yes,
2010 is when we were at Southern Miss and the double block by Dwayne Harris.
Are you just showing off right now, Rain Man?
Yes.
Whatever. What happened in 2005?
Skip Holtz's first year. We beat Duke in his first game.
Oh, shit.
Oh, here we're just testing him.
Here we go.
Andre Allison, 50-yard touchdown to get it rolling.
I'd love to just quiz Chandler.
Hey, Bryce has got the host bug in him now. He's ready to ask questions.
What year was the Virginia Tech block punt?
2008.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that year. I just figured he knew it.
This is good. This is good.
I'll keep it at that.
You got anything else? No.
I mean, I could, but we'll move forward.
What year did Bryce Williams score a touchdown and forget to line up on the extra point?
2014 against Virginia Tech.
Okay.
What end zone was I going into?
It was, if you're looking at the TV, watching the TV, it's the right end zone.
I guess so.
It's on the side where the East Carolina fans are lined up.
Sounds about right.
Sounds that checks out.
Yeah. Do you remember what part of the end zone?
It was in the back of the end zone.
What side?
It was to the right of the field goal.
There we go. Okay. That's about all. Never mind. We'll move on.
He's got it.
I can't stump him.
You know how many highlights I go back and watch over and over again?
That's his thing. He's old YouTube guy.
Heck yeah.
If there's a game or a highlight on YouTube, Chandler has seen it.
I mean, clip. He walked into work one day, and I'm watching literally the second half of ECU versus Marshall in 2008. What a doozy that was.
Dang. What? I don't even remember. I don't think I watched that one. Where was I? No. I was a freshman in high school. Chandler was like...
Yeah, you were a freshman in high school. That's right. I actually knew that.
When did Bryce beat his rival high school opponent?
It was actually October 17th, 2009. You had 2 touchdowns in that game.
Where did Bryce go after the game, and what was the girl's name he was dating at the time?
So there was some sort of corner diner where he's from, and took her out for a late night breakfast.
Sally Mae, right?
Yes.
Sally Mae?
Yep.
Oh, Sally Mae. Michael Winstead, I hope... Michael's still cool with the show after the little scary, the diss track on his son, Isaiah. He said, Clip, Chandler Shirley, my son is really going to miss coming on the show talking to y'all. He thinks y'all are so funny. You know what, Michael? I'm not ready to hear this right now.
Oh, is he a senior?
I don't want to think about it coming to an end.
I know it is weird. Senior day it is weird.
And I want to get to that with you, Bryce, but yeah, Isaiah's the man. We love Isaiah around here. What do you remember about it? So you go on the field, you got family on the field?
Yeah, mom, dad, my 2 brothers. Going in there, obviously run out and I don't think I got water in my eyes during that day. I don't think I did.
Did they give you like a 80 in a frame or anything, like a jersey or?
I think so.
Anything like that?
That and a football.
Flowers for the mom, probably.
I think the jersey. They kind of all went by kind of in a blur. But it was definitely weird, obviously when it was over. I was fortunate enough to score a touchdown. I think that was the last touchdown of the game for us. And then when it was over, that night was odd.
And that was not a great memory because that was Cincinnati, and
we
y'all could have gone to a
goal.
bowl game.
We lost by a field goal. We had a penalty after the touchdown of something, and it didn't work. And then we missed the field goal. Zippy.
Sorry, not a happy memory.
No, but it was. It's definitely a weird feeling when things come to an end, especially after 4 years of being somewhere. So it's it's exciting that you've been there that long and the memories you made. But when it's all over, it's kind of it's a little emotional.
I believe Tommy Tuberville was the head coach for Cincinnati that day.
Get a job. Remember that clip of him going off the field and the fans are booing him?
Yes.
Get a job.
Get a job. How about you get a job?
Now I forgot. Oh, things really changed around ECU shortly after that game.
Quickly.
Man.
Yeah. Man, did it go.
We're finally kind of getting out of that hole that started to be dug that day.
Yeah.
You could say.
That day was, thank goodness.
Yeah, no doubt. Bryce, what'd you see on Friday night?
Man, I tell you what, before, first off, I'm in the middle of the daggum mountains. Ironically, the well wasn't working, so we didn't have running water. Well, I'll get to that on the outdoor segment of that.
Okay.
But, me and Jake were there. We were in the barn. I'm like, I got to watch the game. This isn't going to work if I can't, watch the game, and I'll show you our setup. That was the setup, and we put a TV on, the side-by-side on there.
Cool.
And I said, well, we got to figure this out. So I did my phone on the hotspot, and Jake was doing the thing with the TV and had the laptop and HDMI'd it, and we were HD. HD quality. It was great.
So you were good to go.
But yeah, I guess it always feels like a long time ago, the game, but especially on Friday nights. But it was obviously a good game in the, until the end. It was. I'm going to recap everything. I guess, I was texting you throughout the game.
Yeah.
Goodness great. Can you pull up the stats? Is that possible?
Yes, sir.
But, obviously was very, optimistic, and we were playing well. We came back. We had the safety. I remember seeing the safety before that, so I missed that. And Cincinnati was giving us opportunities, looking back on it, and we were doing
you want the team stats?
Yeah, I guess this box scores and stuff.
Because ECU dominated.
On
some key numbers.
Yeah, it was the defense.
Rushing really stood out.
Yeah,
174 to 66. ECU outrushed them. I think first downs too, 22 to 13 on first downs.
That's right. Okay, and then CJ had that big play. I think I texted you after that.
Yeah,
that play.
Right before the half.
Yeah, right before. That was just a GAM play, I guess we'll say, grown blank man play.
Kind of an awkward play.
I was going to say, I brought it up in the fifth quarter about how, and maybe this is what you're about to talk about, but he was he was covered, and it looked like Holton had underthrown whoever was out there initially. And then all of a sudden, he just pops up from behind the defender, and there he is. And with his athleticism, he just runs away from everybody.
Oh, yeah, stiff arm. And to me, I need to re-see it, but, look, it may have been a back shoulder placed throw from what it looked like. So that was obviously a good adjustment by CJ. And then for him to just be stiff arming, pushing, pretty much just say it bullying the guys on the playground. Just sticking one of them out and outrun them and stiff arming them, and then to take it for 70 some yards. Very impressive. It was, just a great play from there. And we were playing well. Our defense was doing good. Cincinnati was making mistakes, and we had a pick. Yeah, we had a pick, and I mean, overall, we're playing well, and I was getting obviously frustrated the last play of the game. Really, obviously, got because I feel like we could have had something better, planned for that instead of, I think was it 4 verts or something, and we only needed to get to the first down or field goal range. I'm trying to recap all this. This has been.
I have a question for you. We got a lot of comments about. Well, first of all, East Carolina would run it on 2nd and 10 just about every time, and there was even Andre Ware, who was the color analyst, pointed it out and said, "If I'm Cincinnati, I'm thinking run here because they always run."
Right.
And we had some calls on that. We also had a lot of calls about why do you throw it short of the sticks on 3rd down?
Yeah, and a few times I do, and so we missed the field goal, right? Missed the foot, so that obviously could have been a game changer. So that's unfortunate that happened yet again. And we're pretty accurate on missing field goals, every game this year. So that's at least a consistent stat. Not a good one, but that's what we're getting. But yeah, a few times it's like, we got to reach the sticks, know where the sticks are. When that's what we were taught. Get to the sticks. And, obviously knowing where you're down in distance. And thank goodness, CJ made a big catch, and it was knowing where the sticks were on a 3rd down, and it was a pressured play and everything, to keep the ball moving. I mean, overall, I feel like we did, obviously made some good plays, but obviously towards the last little bit was, frustrating. I think we had a sack on the last drive, and just that last bit was kind of just fell apart on us, and that was very frustrating.
Any thoughts on refs, calls, officiating?
Obviously, Keaton Mitchell's, I think, obviously targeting. I mean, they've called way softer plays than that. And not that it was a soft play, but, targeting was definitely a good call on that. I read, Coach Houston's comments. It definitely seemed like that DB was more so, wasn't really going for the ball or anything like that, in my opinion. So, yeah, Coach, I'm with Coach Houston as far as kind of a sportsmanlike hit. That was far from it. And then some of the other things I'm not really recalling, but overall, I thought we could have definitely made a few things to get the win, but
frustrating.
It is
frustrating loss,
especially to be that close.
And East Carolina, we had the stat all year: when Holton Ahlers doesn't throw an interception, they win. Well, that stat is done. He didn't throw a pick.
Yeah,
and they lost the game.
Yeah.
Now they got Houston coming up. We'll get your prediction on it coming up at the end of the show. Let's get another break in. We'll go quick Pirate Radio Outdoors and get Bryce's prediction for East Carolina and Houston coming up Saturday, 2 o'clock. We're with you at 10 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll be back with you after this.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold.
DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Love is finding the internet of your dreams from MetroNet. Get ready for fast, reliable, 100% fiber speeds with unlimited data so you can stream, study, surf, and game on all your devices simultaneously. No lag times or buffering. MetroNet offers student deals. Get 100 megabit internet for just $39.95 a month. Switch today at metronet.com/switch. MetroNet. Love your internet.
Greenville Utilities electric customers will soon be able to receive text notifications in the event of power outages. Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
Here today with Kyle Gaines from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. What's new?
So this is the best time to buy. We have no payments for 90 days when you finance with us. Also, 2.9% financing for 72 months on the all-new 22 Jeep Wagoneer. And don't forget, you can sit down with me, custom order your next vehicle, and save time and money. Don't have a Christmas idea? We have you covered with buy 3 tires, get the 4th one for $1. And don't forget, drive a little, save a lot, located in Washington, North Carolina, and also check us out on the web at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com.
It seems like places are giving you less and less food these days.
Yes, Mama, it's called shrinkflation. Oh, shrinkflation is just another word for robbery. But this is shackflation. What? Dang, that's huge. Extra pepperoni, extra cheese on that thing.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear ENC.com is your one-stop shop for all promotional products for your business. With over 1 million items to shop from, University Sportswear ENC.com offers high-quality products at prices to fit any budget. Visit University Sportswear ENC.com for contact information and to get shopping. University Sportswear ENC.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of Pip Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. Pip, where business goes to grow.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 28 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or you can visit qualityequip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. All right, Bryce, we got a couple minutes to go outdoors here, so let's do it.
Man,
you were watching football outdoors.
You dang right.
Friday night.
Man, I was in it. I was going to watch ECU football. Well, there was the will, there was the way, and we found the way.
That's good stuff.
And it was great. I was in the, and I guess it was old horse stable. I showed you the picture. The perfect man cave, had a fire. The TV was on the back of a side-by-side. I mean, just perfect situation, to watch the game outside. But yeah, I went up to Virginia this weekend on a deer hunt with my buddy Jake and my buddy Kevin, whose property it was. And it wasn't, our weather wasn't all that. Rain all day Friday, Saturday was hot. It's like pretty much peak rut, like thinking, well, we're going to get him. He showed him what we've seen on camera. He ended up seeing some small bucks, a few does, just wasn't the deer activity we're hoping for. I think weather had a lot to do with that. I did get an opportunity to see, I was in the box stand, I was looking to my left, and my chair was turned to my left. I looked back to my right, and there was a shooter buck, probably about 90 yards out, and staring at me. So I was like, okay. I went to slide over to adjust. Well, he went back to my left, not chasing, but he was just on the prowl. And if it would have been flat land, he would have been dead. But we were up in the mountains, and of course there's all these little ditches and low areas, and he dipped down, and I could never get a shot at him. Well, he ran off, And so let a few, like an hour went by. So I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go rattle some horns. So I get down and go sit on the ground and rattling the horns rattling the horns, making ruckus like it's pretty much mimicking a buck fight. So no lie, about 2 minutes later, he comes on a rope, tromping through the trees, coming right to me. He was gonna dip down. I mean, I had the hammer cocked and everything, wait for him to peek up. And I see it in the wind switch, and I saw his head pick up and, sniff, and sure enough, he took off and winded me. And I still was trying to I could still see him, but it was so thick in those mountains that I could never get a clear shot on him. And, obviously he went off, and I was beating myself up, because I could have killed him, first thing if I had been looking out the right window. And then if the wind wouldn't have switched, he would have peeked right up top of the hill and smoked him. And so I was beating myself up all Saturday for that. Well, then, didn't see but one deer Saturday evening and then one deer Sunday morning, and it was kind of frustrating. And then I actually slipped in the stand today, me and Jay, and saw 2 does and then a young 7-pointer we have on camera. So not a shooter, but, I've been in the woods, but just still waiting for that opportunity to hopefully get a shooter buck on camera and or take one. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Bryce, if I see something between Tuesday night and Tuesday morning before I talk to you again, I like it on Twitter, and then I just hope I can remember to bring it up when you come in.
Yeah.
And I remember today. I saw this last week. This is near Brainerd, Minnesota. This picture of this beast snapping turtle, which looks like a freaking dinosaur.
My God.
Have you ever in your life seen a turtle like that? That thing's huge. It looks scary.
Oh my gosh.
Like the mouth on it, like.
No.
Look at the claws on that thing. That's prehistoric.
Claws.
That ain't no damn turtle.
Golly.
Yeah.
Never have seen one that big. I mean, I knew they get big, but that thing is probably pushing 300 pounds.
It is a monster, but that's scary. Like
that's under. I mean, you take a bite. That takes a bite out of you, you're bleeding out.
Yeah, I had a fear when I was a kid because I heard some like old wives' tale or something that if a snapping turtle bites you, it doesn't let go till it like thunders.
Thunders,
is that right?
Yeah.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah, I got scared.
And I was freaked out my whole like childhood about snapping turtles.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the lake. I've gotten to. I mean, I'll swim in the lake, but like when you're in the bottom, like touching the bottom, you're like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna step on. But that right there that's scary.
All right. So watch out if you're around the Minnesota area, I guess. All right, Bryce. Pirates, Cougars going at it Saturday, 2 o'clock. Bryce will be there. Shane Carden. Wait, are you going to the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryce will be there. Shane Carden will be there. What you got?
I tell you, we've done tagged us one Cougar.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to tag us another. So I'm going ECU, obviously winning. We got quite the spread here. I think we're going to score some points at home. I mean, senior night. I mean, what more can these guys ask for? As always, I know they play their heart out, but I mean, these seniors, it's something special, for them to get to this point. But, I'm going ECU 42, Houston 30.
We put our first Cougar. We made a rug out of that.
Yeah.
And we'll put this one on the.
Heck yeah, we're going to shoulder mount that son of a gun.
All right, shoulder mount. What you got, Chan?
Look, Shane's going to be there.
Yeah.
Bryce is going to be there. Maybe CJ Struck's going to be there. A lot of former Pirates. Clip and Chandler are going to be there.
We're going to be there.
Dang right.
I mean, we're going to have a party in Dowdy on Saturday, baby.
It's party time in the thick.
We're going to have a darty.
Looking forward to it. Bryce, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thanks.
Great job on your interview as well.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you Wednesday, 3 o'clock on an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation.